Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, we're live. Welcome to Broken, episode 2. We're back. We're back, and we're gonna see what happens today. So, why don't you guys tell folks what happened last week while I tweet the stream out? Dun dun dun. Here, I'll put on some background music, maybe. Maybe something a little bit better here. No, that's not the thing. Here. There we go. So, Dank, what happened with you last week?
Well, we had a whole deal where Silas was trying to get me to join the organization and essentially trying to either break my mind. That didn't work, so he tried to kill me, and that didn't work out too well for him either.
Right, yeah. You rolled too good. I think, like I said at the end of the last session, you're an unstoppable killing machine. So you've definitely earned his respect. You shot his inky creature that emerged from inside of his body, and he was like, "Whoa, man! You said quick and easy. I was just trying to do the quick and easy thing." Yeah, and that's sort of where we left off with him. I think was not long after that.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cassidy, what happened with you last week?
I had almost a mental breakdown in the middle of my apartment. Witty banter with the secretary manager lady at the apartment. And then proceeded to get driven fucking crazy by Silas and to stab myself in the neck.
Yeah. Basically, that's what happened. We saw you shove the screwdriver in your neck, blood squirting out, people around you panicking. At this, I think we had someone recognize you just like walking by on the street right before you did that.
Like right as I did it.
Yeah. And that's where we left off with you. Wolfy, what happened with Darren last session?
Well, at an auction to try and sell a painting and succeeded, only to go outside and have everything just go weird. Car got rolled over, person turned into a puddle in front of me, and so he decided to believe him and just walked out in front of a semi.
Yeah, you're just like, I trust. Maybe there was just something about him. Something about him that was just really, really trustworthy,
I mean, they say trust but verify. I'm just verifying.
Yeah. Exactly.
Would you like to delete your save?
I like the Skyrim quick save meme. Or Fallout quick save meme or whatever, where you're like, okay, I'll walk into traffic, quick save. walks into traffic. There's no quick save in Broken. There's no quick save.
Is there a slow save?
Uh,
There is only death.
Time.
Yeah, there is only suffering. That's all.
got it.
That is all.
Suffering.
There is only Zool.
Okay. Okay. Zack, what happened to you last session?
Well, I got caught by some mobsters. Loan sharks for not paying back my debt, and I died on accident.
Yeah.
Stabbed in the finger to death.
Yep.
Right.
I-
Bled out from a wound on the finger.
It was a really bad wound. Yeah. He like nicked
There's
a
still
main.
arteries in your hand.
Yeah,
better
I
make you die
don't know.
like
I
that.
don't know, man. I just rolled
I
the
don't know. I
dice.
feel like
Video game logic.
that's possible.
If
Like-
you lost your entire finger and never did anything about it, probably.
Yeah.
It would
You're
still
not
scab over
like-
time.
Oh God.
Yeah, I have no
I mean,
idea.
you might end up anemic, but I don't think you'd straight out bleed to death from losing a finger.
I kind of like to
I'm gonna
think
laugh
that it.
so hard if somebody googles this and is in the chat later, like, no, you can't really die this way.
Yeah. I like to think that maybe because he was gonna like pry it under your fingernail. Like I like to think when he went to push on it, like he was just hitting the blunt end of the blade, and it like slipped out and went between your fingers instead, and like
Oh.
really wedged up in there deep, like couple inches.
Or you
And-
just completely missed and hit like the aortic artery on your leg.
or like your wrist or something maybe. I don't know.
Whoops, slice. And he's dead, Jim.
Where's all this arterial spray coming from?
Just like blood
Damn
everywhere.
it. Damn it. Now I gotta clean this shit.
Yeah. That's what they were.
It's on the
thinking.
ceiling.
Great.
I mean, I assume they were in some kind of a basement with like a sump pump and a drainage valve.
No, just a nightclub, unfortunately,
Sucks for them.
or like I guess it was like a casino lounge. I think.
If there was carpet, cleaner costs for that would be like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Let's see if there was carpet. Let's see here, because we'll just check the image. We'll let the stock photo decide if there was was it this pic? Yeah. No, it's hardwood or tile or something.
Ooh.
As I have
crazy.
literally heard someone say before, if you're gonna die, do it off the property. Then it's the city's problem.
yeah. They're like,
I
dang
mean,
it.
you're not wrong.
Now we'll never get our money back. Okay.
Lost the deposit, boys.
Yeah. All right. Well, Naela, what happened with you last session? We saw you a little bit at the beginning.
Pretty much she woke up from this really weird dream, wanting drugs, didn't have the drugs, was confronted from Ernest about how we needed to find a new settlement because we were losing resources at the place that we're currently staying at. And then he asked about his meds. And then I had a flashback about the drugs, so I probably took his meds by accident.
Oh.
And then that's about it.
Okay. All right. You took his meds by accident. Okay. Sure.
Quotation marks. Accident. She has problems, okay?
Totally. It's okay. We're all broken, right? Let's see here. So I think what we'll do is we'll start with you, Naela. We fade in on the inside of that same room. Presumably the same conversation is still happening. Like no time has really passed since the last time we saw you. And Ernest is just like sitting there staring at you. Maybe you were both kind of like uncomfortable. We can see that you're both like dirty. He's still wearing that same sort of like neutral colored thermal looking shirt, but it's probably made from some kind of either like silk or like some kind of like polyester looking blend. And he says, well, Olivia, when are you going to tell me about these dreams you've been having?
What dreams are you referring to?
He like stands up and we see him like walk over to a counter and he's like fiddling with something. Like pulls out a bag of some stuff. It looks to be some kind of like food. And he opens it and like gets like a cup ready. And he says, "Come on, Olivia. I know you better than anyone. I can tell when something's wrong. Are you going to talk about it?"
Something I don't understand, and I don't want to worry you about it.
Yeah, he nods. We see him like turn on a sink and he like fills this little cup looking container up with some water and then he turns the sink back off. And then he says, worrying me really shouldn't be a concern. Does it have something to do with the... Well, it's got to be the DDM, right? What are you seeing?
I saw myself in a casino full of people, and Silas was there.
He like sneers when you say the name Silas. He's still looking for us then? I thought we'd lost him. What was he doing there?
I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that I was playing this weird card game, I guess, with these strange people that I've never seen before. And the dealer was acting weird, uncomfortable. The next thing I know, Silas pulls out a gun and he's walking towards the counter. I'm trying to leave and I'm trying to get the people at my table to leave. And I turn back around and Silas unloads his gun bullets into this dealer. And then I woke up.
He kind of like pulls a hand to his chin. He's like rubbing his chin while you're talking, kind of lost in thought. And he says, what did this place look like?
He would describe the casino that they were in, what the lights were flashing, the sounds she could hear, the machines she saw, things like that.
Yeah, he kind of like shakes his head and he says, strange, it's so foreign. And he says, I've never seen the dream myself, but your mother had a gift for this sort of thing. And he looks around, and then he suddenly has a very confused look on his face, and he says, where is Martha? Have you seen her?
She shakes her head slowly.
And we see him like turn on some kind of device that's like built into the counter, like it turns like a knob. And there's like a red iron that turns on, kind of like a stove. and he sets the cup down on it, and he pours some of this like food-like substance we saw into the cup as it's basically like boiling over this in this water. You just tell him you haven't seen her. He kind of looks lost in thought for a second, and then he says, well, usually, if I recall, she said it's like some kind of omen, and he's like gesturing with his hands. He's trying to think of a word, but he can't find it. It's he kind of looks to you for help. Some kind of harvest.
Do you think she's looking for supplies?
Martha? No. I mean the dream.
Harvest. I don't understand.
He like scratches his head, and then he sort of shakes it and he says, "Yeah, me either, Olivia. Sorry, I wish I could be of more help."
It's
You know,
okay, some things we're not meant to understand.
yeah, he says, "You know, I remember when Martha and I brought you home. And we get like a flashback. We get like the stereotypical like lens flare flash, and we see Ernest a bit younger. He's standing at this shoreline. It's night. The ground is dark, and he's sort of just like staring out at this water as the waves roll in. The sand itself is probably like a black or rust color. And he's just like, they're watching these waves roll in. And beside him is this woman, approximately his age. We haven't seen her before, but she's got dark hair. Her face is kind of dirty like his. And they're both wearing similar clothes. He's probably not wearing the exact same clothes he's wearing now, but similar garb. And they're standing at this shoreline, just staring out into the darkness. We see them standing there for a few seconds, just sort of like listening to the sound of the water. And then there's this blue light that kind of washes out. We don't see the source of the light; we just see it on their faces. So they're just like staring out at the darkness, and then there's like this blue light that starts to shine on their faces, and we see them both kind of like reach their hand up to like block the light, and then they pull their hand back down, and they lean down to the water, and they see like floating on this small, almost like a lily pad, is a baby. Just a naked baby sitting there, and the baby's like cooing and crying. And Ernest turns to the woman, and they both have this look of shock on their face. And the woman says, "Quick!" And she reaches for the baby, quickly snags it out of the water, and like holds it up to her chest almost protectively, and gets out of the water as quick as she can. Ernest like instinctively like puts a hand on her back to kind of comfort her, and we see them walking towards this like shelter on the beach. The door is and we see like the door and part of the wall, they're sort of like metal, this like grayish metal, and they're probably, we see like some fungus growing on the side of this thing, and it's very clearly worn, and sort of like beaten and battered building that they kind of walk up to. And we see Ernest like reach out and open the door as he lets her go inside ahead of him, and then he follows in after her. And then we cut back to you guys. And he says, huh. I wonder if it could be happening again.
What could be happening again?
He finishes with boiling the stuff on the stove, and he like pulls up a tool and like strains the like the clumps of this stuff that he was boiling in the water out. He sort of like strains out the big clumps, and we see the water like steaming. It's now like a different color. It's not clear, probably like a darkish color. And he like pulls the cup up to his mouth and he takes like a sip, and he says, Olivia, I think we should get the boat ready.
He looks visibly stressed. And she looks like she's trying to find a substance to help keep her calm, but she probably doesn't find it.
Let's take a look here. Okay. I'm just looking at your memories here really quick. Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay. Roll me, just make a normal roll.
Oof.
Okay. So you do find some of the medicine you're looking for, but there's only one use left. So like, you know, if you take this he's not going to have any medicine.
She curses and puts it away, and then she says, "All right, let's get the boat."
Yeah, he nods. We see him like set the cup down on the counter after he takes another sip or two, and then he walks over to the door, and we see him like this large metal door, and he turns a handle on it, and it kind of like sound, and he pushes it open, and we just see darkness as the scene ends, and we fade over. I think we'll go to Dank. To Dank now here. Let's see here. Dank.
Yep.
Where do we want? What scene do we want to use for you here? Okay, maybe we'll use this. And let me just grab your token. Place that there. And Silas, if I can find the guy. All right. So we see you guys walking, like towards the casino, or you were about to, I guess. Maybe you got pulled into some alley when you guys had your sort of like confrontation. Yeah. what are you guys doing, Dank? I'll let you decide.
Well, we pretty much de-escalated things at the end of last session, and we're trying to figure out where to go from here, because dying doesn't appear to be an option for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to willingly go out now that I know he was trying to kill me.
Yeah, totally, yeah. Are you gonna, do you bring that up to him, or you like, do you say to him, you were gonna kill me? What's the deal with that? Like, do you ask him about it or anything?
Pretty much. I'm going to be like, well, you tried to get the drop on me. You failed. What was up with that?
Yeah, he nods. He says, well, you chose the quick and easy way. I was trying to make this quick and easy. You see, there's a reason that proving loyalty isn't a problem for us.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to need any sort of proof when you're dead.
Yeah, he nods and he says,
Would you mind further explaining why it would be necessary for me to die?
Yeah, he he sort of smirks a little bit and he says, we need to, in order to wake you up, we need to provide your system with a very significant shock.
So you're saying that I'm currently not awake, and what I'm currently experiencing isn't really happening in reality.
Yeah, we see him reach up to his glasses and he takes them off, and there's like this tension in the soundtrack when he's pulling them off. Like, oh, are we gonna see like the black voids where his eyes were? But no, instead we just see like normal eyes. They're probably blue. And he looks at you and he says, are you familiar with simulation theory, Dank?
I am.
He nods and he says, what does it say?
Well, essentially, it's a theory that we're all living in a simulation, and that all of the sensory inputs that we're experiencing are just simulated and programmed. That none of this is real, and that dying or otherwise becoming no longer conscient or sapient would be a way out of the simulation.
Yeah, he kind of like nods and sort of like shakes his head back and forth, like more or less like what you're saying. And then he says,
How did you get back into it, though?
He says, the Covenant has their ways.
Understand.
Is
there any benefit to going back into it?
He shakes.
Besides pulling other people out?
He shakes his head. He says, normally no. But it's possible that the simulation can hide bits of information, things that we find important. Usually in the minds of people, somewhere buried deep.
Like those old Ubisoft games.
He says, simulation theory is really just a thought experiment. He says, the idea is that technology could progress to the point that we could create a virtual environment so real that we would be unable to distinguish the difference between that and reality.
Such a large system to encompass so many active people would require something like a Dyson sphere in a stage 3 civilization. You're telling me humanity has progressed that far?
He says, well, to tell you the truth, we don't think humanity made it. But we don't know for certain.
So the technology exists, but we're not the ones who created it. We essentially stole it from another race beyond the stars.
stole it. No, it's more like
Down.
a prison of sorts, I think.
That's fair.
It's much more complicated than just a virtual reality. But the idea is that if it's so real and you can't tell the difference, then how do you know you're not in a simulation now?
I mean, you can't really prove or disprove it.
Yeah, he shakes his head. No, you
The
wouldn't.
only way to do so would be to, like, get out and come back, which is something you're saying that you're capable of doing.
And you are as well. Certain.
What would await me on the other side?
Well, the real world.
That entails...
It's not.
What kind of situation are we going to be getting into?
He puts the sunglasses back on, and he says, "Let me put it plainly for you, Dank. We're going to be cutting off power to this section of the experiments soon."
What'll happen to the people who don't get pulled out while they're still in it?
They'll either die, or they'll be forced out, or they'll likely die.
So, likely death for potentially billions of people.
Not billions. There's only hundreds in this place, this section. Most of the people you see, there's like people like walking by you on the street, like gestures to like a random guy. Most of these people aren't real. They're what you would call NPCs.
AIs.
Yeah, he just grabs a guy by the collar who's walking by, and the guy's like, "Whoa, whoa," and he's like, "See, this guy, for example, not real." And the guy's like, "Hey, what are you talking about, man? I'm real. Let go of me. What are you doing?" And he's like trying to get his hand off of him. He won't let go of him. And then the guy's like looking at you, like almost like pleading for help. And he's like, "See, this one here is what you would call a non-player character." And the guy's like trying to fight him. He's like, "Get up, let go of my shirt, man. This is a brand new shirt." What do you do?
Well, you know, your theory has some merit to it. In a situation like this, where this man would be almost doomed to death, he's worried about a t-shirt. That doesn't seem very realistic when you narrow it down.
Hey, screw you, pal. It's an expensive shirt.
Oh, yeah, expensive shirt. You think I give a shit about expenses? Look at me. I'm a hobo.
Silas like turns and looks at the guy, and he says, "Your idea of currency is an illusion." And the guy's like, "What are you, crazy, man? Let go of me." And then Silas punches him. Let's see here. This is Silas's role. This is the guy's role. Silas rolled really badly. He still beats him. So he punches the guy, and we hear his nose crack, like, and there's like blood starts dripping down his face. And the guy's like, what are you? And he's like bleeding. He's like, stop, please. And then Silas
We're clearly not going to stop.
yeah. He like pulls his fist back and he like waits for you to say something. You say that, and then he tries to punch him again.
I'm not going to interfere.
All right. So the guy goes down from beaten to wounded. So here's what happens. Silas just keeps beating this guy. He doesn't stop. He hits him several more times. We see the guy's like eye sockets start to cave in. There's blood pouring down his face. He gets the guy on the ground, and he hits him again and again. And eventually the guy passes out from being beaten so hard.
Right.
And he's like, Silas is like standing over him. He's now like, his fist and probably part of his clean suit now have blood splatter on them. The guy was probably like begging for him to stop this whole time. There are some people that like freak out, pull out their phones, start recording him. There's people like trying to call for help. There's like 1 or 2 people calling 911. There's one guy who's like, "Oh, World Star," and he's like recording him on his cell phone. Yeah. What do you do? He's got this guy. He's gonna kill this guy if you don't stop him.
Well, after seeing the whole Inca dog thing and all the other weird shit that's been happening, I'm more likely to believe him. The whole scenario, Dank is in the mindset that, yeah, this guy's probably right. Humanity wasn't meant to live in this way. The idea of currency is ridiculous. People were meant to be hunter-gatherers. Like, the guy who first decided to set down civilization, mark barriers, and say, I own this land, was insane and obviously wrong. So, yeah, no. By all means, murder this man.
Okay. He stops punching the guy, and then he like stands up and straightens his suit. He looks around at everyone, and he turns and looks at you, and he says, "None of these people," he almost says that like with quotation marks. He has, "None of them matter." And then he raises his foot and he brings it down on the guy's skull.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, he's probably going to kill him, but just in case. Oh,
This
wow.
guy's dead.
He rolled...
This guy is ultra dead.
Yeah. So it's like that scene in Game of Thrones where the mountain is fighting what's his name, and he like crushes his head, right? And like blood goes. That's what this is. So I do
like giblets, chunky salsa. Totally understand.
Like Gallagher with a watermelon.
Yeah.
I'm not fazed by this because I no longer believe it's real.
Okay, I tell you what, I'll give you a +1 on your stress check for that. And I won't make it a really hard stress check, but it is like, even though it's not real, you are witnessing actual violence, like gore.
I have committed so much violence.
That's fair. If you've got anything else that'll gives you like response to violence, you can apply that, or you can write a new memory now that'll give you response to violence if you like.
Sure. You go ahead and write that new memory.
Okay, so then I make an automatic success. Yeah. So you see this guy's brains splattered all over the pavement. Several people scream, look away. There's like one guy who starts retching, like he's gonna throw up. It freaks people out. There's people calling the police. We hear sirens in the distance. Silas looks over at you, and you're unfazed by this. And he just grins, like a really unsettling grin. Do you know what your memory is? Do you want to give us the gist of it?
Remember butchering my way through compound after compound, across multiple countries, wars, campaigns. Violence no longer faces me. I have performed unspeakable acts most would blanch at the mere idea of.
All right. Which one is that? It's not on your sheet?
I haven't finished writing it yet.
All right.
Still typing it.
That's fine. You can go ahead and give it a +1 in response to violence if that's how many points you used.
I've got 5.
Can you use
Could
all
I make it a +3?
You can make it a +3 if you want to burn all 5, yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And then he doesn't even seem like he's really in a hurry. He just sort of like, after he crushes this guy's skull with his heel, he just sort of like dusts his suit off, looks around everyone, and then he looks over at you and he says, "Well, if you're gonna do this the hard way, we should get out of here. We should get to somewhere where we can watch the eclipse."
Sounds like a plan. This time you lead.
He looks around at the people, there's like a couple of them filming him, and he says, he like cocks his head to the side, and he says, do try and make this into a funny meme. And then he just like takes off running down an alley. I'll give him a roll. This would be a normal roll for him, I guess. It is a success. So yeah, you guys managed to take off running down this alley. Assuming you're following after him. There's like you guys hop up on some boxes, jump over a fence. There's a couple people that halfway try to like follow you, but they're not willing to like keep running while filming, or they think better of chasing you guys down a dark alley, or they just don't want to make the leap over the fence or what have you. You guys lose them. So we see you like cutting through alleyways, dumpsters. We hear cop sirens go by in the distance. You guys get to like the edge of a corner, and Silas like holds out his hand, and then he like peers around the corner, and we just see a cop car just just go whipping by the corner. Totally misses you guys. And then he steps out, and you guys make it back to like the street. And he says, "Well, it was different for me, you see. I leapt head first into the black. But for you, I suppose it's going to be more difficult. Perhaps this experience will make us more alike. I suppose that's yet to be seen."
As long as I can still keep my sense of humor, we're golden.
He nods. He says, "I suppose it's possible." And then we see you guys like step out of this alley onto a relatively not busy street. Like he looks around, there's not really anybody looking for you guys or anything. He takes like a left turn on a sidewalk, and you guys are like walking away from the area where that commotion just happened. We probably hear some people shouting in the distance. That kind of stuff. Make a normal roll.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to you in just a moment. So that's where that scene ends for now. Okay. Just a reminder, players. Every time a scene ends, you're allowed to go up one step in your body track as long as you're not wounded. So, like, if you're beaten, then you can go back up to okay at the end of a scene. If you've gone down in your mind track, you can go back up a step at the end of the scene. So anytime we end a scene, just, make sure you guys recover your stuffs if you haven't. All right. Okay, we're gonna start getting a little weird here. Cassidy.
Yeah.
We cut to you. You're laying on a sidewalk with a screwdriver in your neck, and you're bleeding out. We can see like your eyes are fluttering, kind of in panic. You're starting to realize what you just did. People around you are kind of like screaming and calling for help. There's one or two people like calling like for emergency personnel on their phone. And you're just like laying there bleeding. We see like you're breathing really quickly and rapidly. You can hear like the sound of your own heartbeat. Sort of in your mind. As everything starts to go dark and dim. And then you feel like a sort of weightlessness as everything goes black. You hear your heartbeat stop. You're in darkness. And you hear this sort of voice. kind of like it echoes through every presence of your being. Like it doesn't sound like it's coming from anywhere in particular. It kind of sounds like it's coming from everywhere, from inside your own head. Hang on one second. Okay, so here's what it says.
Error detected. Initiating electrical cardioversion.
And then we get like a sound. Can you make a roll, just a normal roll for me? Okay, good. First roll. All right, so here's what it sounds like. We get like a and we see your body convulse on the ground. So like we hear the sound of like a defibrillator, basically. And we like see your body, like the torso especially, like pull up off the ground. The people around you react to this. You've stopped breathing, your eyes are just blankly staring up at the sky. And there's blood everywhere. And you hear the same sort of voice in your head again, and it says,
Error still present. Initiating electrical cardioversion.
And then we get the same defibrillator sound again, as we see your body convulse again. The darkness gives way to this pale blue light that flickers on in front of you.
Oh god.
We see it's as this light flickers on, you're suddenly aware of where you are. You can't tell how much time has passed. We've already talked about like your memories and stuff on your sheet, I think, since the last session. So
Yeah.
You don't remember what just happened. Everything that just happened like in the last day or two is gone. Everything except for the memories on your sheet is gone. You feel this crushing weight as you come to awareness. It's really difficult to breathe. You look down and you see like this pink like liquid around your feet. It's sort of being pulled away into some kind of drain. You instinctively try to move your limbs. It's kind of hard to, and you realize that you're in like some kind of small container. Like it's almost like a coffin, but there's like almost like a screen, like a small screen right in front of your face, where this light has sort of like flicked on. You look down and you're not clothed. We don't see anything. But yeah, you're just in this small container. Trying to breathe, it's really difficult to breathe. Everything feels heavy. What do you do?
Am I laying down or standing up?
You're standing up, but you're kind of like, it's in a very small confined space. You feel like there's something sort of securing you from behind, like holding the majority of your weight by your head or your back.
I'm gonna start patting on my torso and see if I can feel something.
Okay. Your belongings are all gone. You feel skin. And yeah, you hear this voice again.
Cardioversion successful. Prepare for evac.
as like the rest of this pink fluid sort of drains out from below you. You're now in like an empty chamber. It's about the size of your body. Looking around you, there's a bunch of machinery. It's really difficult to like turn your head or move your body any means. So like even when you go to like pat down on your sides, like there's this stinging pain that rings through your arms as your muscles are atrophied, and so you're kind of using them for the first time. Looking around you, there's like all sorts of strange machinery and symbols that you don't recognize. And yeah, there's this blue blinking light and sort of like in front of you. And it's showing symbols. Make a normal roll. Okay. So you recognize them. You can't explain how, because they're like we, the audience, can clearly see that these symbols are not in like what we would consider like English, or they're in some other foreign language. But you're able to recognize them, and we can see that like there's like a symbol, and then it becomes a less complicated symbol. So maybe it's like a line and a couple dots, or a couple lines and a dot, and then it becomes fewer lines and same amount of dots, and then it's like the same amount of lines and fewer dots. And you know that it's counting down to something. Yeah. We get this sound it's weird how familiar the sound is. It sounds a lot like your alarm clock. It's coming from the blue light in front of you as it starts to blink really rapidly, and it turns red. What do you do?
I'm going to try to assume that it's probably gonna like try to spit me out or something, so maybe tense up a little bit to try to like land on my feet, hopefully.
Yeah, okay.
If it does.
So you go to like tense up, and I guess you're almost like trying to pull your body together into like almost like a fetal position. You feel like the sharp stinging pain in the back of your head as something, you feel something removed from it. Like something that was
shit.
like you go to move your body and you feel this sharp pain just like right at the top of your brainstem, I guess. As there's this like strange feeling as something is removed from the back of your head. There's sort of like a whirring sound as soon as this happens from the machine that you're inside of. And then you get a sharp poke in the arm. It sounds, as this other device is like activated, it sounds a little bit like this. As something is like pierces into your arm, like your bicep, and you're injected with something.
Bitch. Warn a lady next time.
Then we see like the ceiling above you as you like tuck in to like prepare yourself for whatever is about to happen. We see the ceiling above you, this small looking like little hatch as it starts to like vibrate, and then it opens and it cracks open from the center, and you can tell looking at this thing that once it opens all the way, there's just enough room for you to squeeze out. But once it opens, we see water just start pouring in. And we see it quickly like fill up the entire chamber that you're in. And then we cut to black. That's the end of your scene for now. Zack.
Yes.
Let's see what's going on with you here.
All right.
All right. So we cut back to where we left off with you. So the guy was like, "Clean this up, will you?" And we got like you bleeding out all over this chair, this horrible wound in your like hand, wrist, whatever. As you start to get cold and dizzy, and we see the guy come up to you, and we see like the life start to drain from you. We see he looks at you, and you're like all pale. There's blood all over the floor. Your eyes are just kind of like twitching as your heart beats its last few beats. And then we see the guy like look at your hands. So we're like seeing this kind of like from your perspective for a moment as you're just like staring up helplessly. And the guy with a knife looks at you, and he has this confused and concerned look on his face. Tony has started to like walk out of the room, and the guy says, "Hey, boss, are you seeing this?" And Tony turns around with like his lit cigar, and he says, "Seeing what?" And we see the guy pointing at you. Tony like looks, and we see like a close-up shot of the wound on your hand as this light turns on. This like blinking like red light flickers on and starts to blink from inside your hand. So it's almost like that effect where if like a really bright light on one side of your hand, it shines all the way through and it looks red. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like blinking on and off. And Tony goes, what the fuck is that?" And the guy with the knife is like, I don't know. And he starts to get closer to your hand. We see him like reach out, and he like peels back the skin, and then he jumps back. Oh, and he like, oh my, what the fuck is going on? And Tony's like, I don't know. What'd you see? And he's like, this guy's some kind of robot or something. And maybe we don't see exactly what he saw in there, but it freaked him out. Matter of fact, I'll have him roll a stress check and see how he does. He fails. Fumble. Okay. So he would go down to stressed, I guess. Actually, I should give him another one for torturing you. See if we can get him to. No, he succeeds. Okay. So he's stressed out. Okay, and so he's like freaked out. And he says, and Tony says, maybe it's some kind of prosthetic or something. And the guy's like, boss, I ain't never seen a prosthetic like this. Especially this guy's broke. I don't think he could afford something like. And Tony's like, look, just take the hand and we'll just dump the rest in a dumpster or something. All right. Just get some garbage bags, clean this mess up. And he's like, all right, boss. And we sort of like end the scene there. Zack, as the life drains from you, you come to in darkness. There's no voice for you. What you see, and it's sort of dreamlike. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. You feel yourself sitting down, but when you look around, all around you is just skin. Like the walls are made of skin. The floor is like made of this weird flesh stuff. The thing you're sitting on is a bench that's been carved out of living bone from some kind of giant organism that you're sitting within. You sit down on this like little bench that's sort of like carved out of this strange looking alien, like ivory bone. There's all kinds of weird like symbols carved into it, like decoration. And around you, there's just like mucus sacs and like bile excreting orifices, and just all kinds of general flesh Lovecraftian weirdness. Sitting on this bench, you look down to this sort of like mucus membrane that's sort of below and in front of you. This bench is like orchestrated for you to view this. So you're like sitting down and looking at this thing. as this is going on, you don't really feel out of place. Like, you feel like this is where you're supposed to be. There's no, like, in this moment, there's no real confusion. There's almost like general feeling of safety and comfort and warmth, and like the feeling of being like protected and looked after, as if by like some kind of like great parental figure, some kind of like all powerful protective entity. And you look down at this sort of like mucus membrane that's sort of below you and like in the ground. And there's like, we see like this strange liquid that's like flowing by it. Like there's some kind of like underground flesh bile river that's just like ripping through under the ground. And you're like seeing a thin part of the skin where you can kind of see the liquid flow underneath. And then we see like a silhouette of some kind of like vaguely humanoid shape that's sort of, it was sort of like moving by in this underground river, but it sort of like pauses in this layer where the skin is thinnest. And it's almost like it's looking at you. Like you have this feeling like it knows you're there, even though it can't really like see you. You just see this like silhouette. And you hear this whispering sound as this thing like puts a hand to the skin membrane and starts to like push out towards you. So you see like this hand like pushing from the inside of this skin, and it's like reaching out towards you. And make a normal roll, please.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh no!
Shit!
All right, let me take a look at something really quick. You're supposed to.
What just happened?
You're supposed to succeed on this roll.
Zack just
I use an influence point to reroll.
Okay. Okay, you want to use the influence point? You can.
Motherfucker! Shit!
It's better than a major failure.
That's true.
Question is, do you have any more influence points you want to try? Oh no, I think you have to use the reroll. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. It's better than a failure. We'll say that. So you hear this whispering. You see this thing reaching out for you. You have this that sort of strange feeling of like being in a safe place. And then suddenly you come to in darkness. You feel heavy weight on you. It's all the same feelings that I was describing with Cassidy. Hard to breathe. You look down and you see like this pink liquid being drained from underneath you. And there's like, when you look down at your body, there's like bits of like embryonic tissue. Like there's bits of like skin, almost like you were just in some kind of flesh sack, like a that is just torn free. There's bits of it sort of like on you, like you're still wet from whatever this pink liquid was, and you have bits of this like torn membrane sort of like covering your body. And we see that blue light flick on in front of you again. You don't hear a voice. You just hear sort of like the sound of like humming machinery. What do you do?
I go and investigate what's that sound coming from.
Make a normal roll.
All right, third time's the charm.
Okay, success. All right.
Wow.
So yeah, you start. You reach out and you start like pushing buttons. Like you don't recognize any of the symbols, but there's like some of this stuff appears to be like devices you can manipulate. So you first thing that strikes you is when you go to move your hands, that just hurts so badly. Like every muscle in your body is just like, it's so painful. And so it's kind of, it takes all of your focus and attention just to like raise your hand to the buttons, and you start pushing them. The blue light flickers, and then it shines a beam straight into your eyes. that sort of like knocks you back. And there's a moment where you're like stunned, right? Like so you get like knocked back, and you're pushed back into the like wall that's immediately behind you. Your head sort of falls back. We get the trademark like lens flare, as a memory floods into your mind when this light shines into your eye, and you hear the sound of a casino, and specifically, you're like sitting at a machine, and the slots are going ding 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 ding, and there's just like tokens coming out or like chips or whatever. I guess it would be like quarters or whatever. Like if you just hit a jackpot, the machine's like $500,000 jackpot, and there's people that all cheering around you, and like there's somebody that comes up and claps you on the back, like congratulate you. And you look over and you see like the casino personnel like running over towards you. And then as quickly as it started, it's gone, and you're back in this sort of machine coffin. The light that was shining in your eye, we see it like flicker a couple times, and then it powers off, and then that sort of blue light just sort of like floods the entire cabin that you're in. This small cabin that's just like big enough for your body.
Huh.
Yeah.
This is wild. So, say that last bit again. Like, where am I at?
You're in the same place Cassidy was in. So you're in like you can only see by like this dim blue. It's almost like a black light kind of looking light. And you're in a compartment that's just big enough for your body. You're naked. And it's everything hurts. Everything on you hurts. It's really difficult to move. It's pretty difficult to breathe. Looking down, you can kind of feel that your body's wet and covered with this like bits of skin, basically. And you're not like wounded or anything. Like looking at your hand, you're fine. And there's like a liquid that's been drained out from below you by like some kind of pump. And yeah, you're just like basically in a machine coffin, essentially, is what this is. Like,
Can I try to can I try to move around?
yeah. What's your first
I'm
instinct?
gonna panic the fuck out and try to break out of this.
All right. So you didn't add any additional memories, right? Like you just hit
I think it was just the main three. Yeah.
Okay. Make a roll. Be some kind of like physical roll to like try to break out of this thing. As we see you like start screaming and like punching at the ceiling. Maybe like you go to scream, and like your voice cuts out. Like it's like your body's like too strained to even be able to scream. So you like let out this scream, and it's like ah, and then it takes you a moment, and then you're able to scream again. Like as you like have to like relearn how to do this. And yeah, you're like weakly pulling up your limbs because you're using them for the first time as you're like trying to like strike out at anything around you.
Just a normal roll.
Yeah, unless you got something that would give you a bonus.
Would this be an adrenaline rush?
I'll allow it. Sure.
Hey.
Savvy success. All right, so here's what happens. We see you like wailing, like and pushing around, panicking. You're just like hitting stuff. So like, you're hitting parts of the compartment which are like really hard metal, right? Like it kind of hurts when you hit them. But also your hands and arms feel extremely heavy. So it's not like you're really able to like damage your knuckles or anything. Just because it's almost like a dream when you go to punch somebody in a dream and it's like you're hitting them really softly, like you can't swing.
Right.
It's kind of like that feeling. But you do manage to like hit a couple buttons, maybe with your elbows or fists while you're doing this. You get lucky, and we see there's like a vibrating sound as the hatch above you starts opening, just like we saw with Cassidy. And we see water start flooding into the compartment immediately. We see that blue. We get a shot of like a lake bed underwater, as this like little metal hatch opens up. We see like the water pour down in there. We can see your body like scrounging around there. And, you know, you're naked, but like we, the audience, don't see anything. So like it's always kind of like covered up by like shadow or something.
Right.
Yeah, we see like starting to squirm free. This thing's trying to pull yourself out. We do see like as the camera sort of like pans out, we see these dark shapes moving in the water as this blue light from inside your compartment sort of like washes out through the water. So like we see like the light shining from inside this compartment out into the water, and all these like dark silhouettes starting to move around you. I think that's where we'll end your scene. We'll go to Darren.
All right.
All right. Darren, let's see here. Oh, you were at the auction.
Yep.
Let's see here. Let me get rid of this dude. Okay. So we see you like walking towards the traffic. This time we get maybe like a different camera angle, whereas last time we focused on the guy that was hitting you with the car. This time we focus on the guy watching you get hit by the car. So we see him tell you again, like, yeah, maybe you should step out into traffic. And then we see you start to do it. And the camera stays on him as we see you like walk out of frame. And then he's like, oh, there's just one thing I forgot. Try and make sure you remember to, and then there's like a sound. And he stops and he goes, he'll figure it out. and then
Motherfucker.
And then we see him like turn around and walk back inside, and you know, he turns a corner and he pops his collar and his clothes change to like what you were wearing. Maybe his face changes to like match yours, and he like looks in a mirror and checks himself out. And he's like, man, it's been such a long time since I've been able to feel what it's like to pull this off. And he looks in the mirror and he's like, act like a rich douchebag. Act like a rich douchebag. Act like a rich douchebag. Okay, no problem. And we see him like walking back into the auction room as he like pulls the door open, and there's like a crowd of people. And then we cut to you in darkness. As
hello, darkness, my old friend.
as a
Yes.
as a pale blue light flicks on. Yeah, you do hear a voice. It's the same voice probably that you were just talking to. And it sounds like it's being transmitted, like it's coming from a speaker. And he says, well, I hope you're ready for this. You don't remember talking to this guy, by the way. You only have your original memories. You don't remember anything that led to this. You come to in the same sort of small compartment. Make a normal roll.
Okay. Good lord.
Oh, buddy. Okay.
Welcome to the team.
Do you want to use the influence point?
Yeah, I may as well.
All right. You can re-roll if you like.
Yeah.
You can re-roll all of them with one influence point.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just do 2d4 then.
Okay. Hey, you got a 4th. That makes it a success.
Okay, so success.
Okay, so like we see the lights start to flicker as like there's like some static that sort of cuts through the voice, and the whole thing sounds sort of like unstable for a moment. Then the connection sort of like reestablishes, and we hear this guy's voice, and he says, "Well, I guess it's time for you to find the answer you've been looking for. Are you ready?"
Answer what?
He goes, it's funny. I wondered it myself at first. Is a copy as valuable as the original? Is it still worth something? Well, I guess that's for you to find out. There was one thing I meant to tell you. Remember to breathe if you can. Maybe remember to swim. And, well, don't waste time looking back. Good luck. And then the compartment above you starts to open. Water starts pouring in. What do you do?
Is the opening enough for me to go through?
Yeah. Yeah, it's enough for you to squeeze through. It's the only place to go. Like the compartment you're in, just like everybody else's, very small, kind of coffin shaped. Like it's just enough room for your body and a few like mechanical widgets. Yeah, it's the only place to go. Like soon as it opens, water starts coming in, you got enough time to like catch a breath, and then you got to swim.
So yeah, I take a deep breath and go.
Yeah, so we see you like pull yourself out of this compartment. We get the same shot we had before, where we're seeing it from like the lake bed as this thing opens up. This naked man pulls himself out of this and tries to kick off to like swim. This time we see a little bit more as the light from your container like pours out into the darkness of the water. We see the same dark silhouettes, sure, but this time we see other pods, other containers open up. We see some people. The camera sort of like drifts away from you, and we see other people like swimming towards the surface. Maybe some of them we recognize as like Cassidy or Zack. Some of them we don't. I will say that we get a shot of like maybe like Tony or Cassidy's like super at the building. Her name's Rita, by the way. That lady that she was talking to at the front desk. And lots of other people. We don't see all of their faces. Some of the containers, we get a shot of them as they open. We just see a dead body just floating there. It doesn't ever come out. Yeah. And we see as these lights all like flicker on across the bottom of this sort of like lake, we see all these dark silhouettes swimming around, closing in on them, starting to sort of surround them. And that's where we fade back from this scene to Nayla and Ernest. As Ernest is opening the door to your shelter, he just said we need to make sure we have the boat ready. What are you doing, Naela?
Naela is going to grab like almost like a book bag looking thing with a couple of injectors inside of it. Because it sounds like she knows what's about to happen. because this has probably happened before. And then she is going to start preparing the boat.
Yeah, so we see you guys exit the shelter onto this shoreline. Ernest looks up at the sky, and we see lights against a backdrop of black. And it's the same sort of odd sky that we saw before in our practice session, I think, when you had that flashback memory where you were being pulled from the water. And so some of the lights are sort of like moving back and forth. Some of them are blinking on and off. They look like stars on like a clear night, but a little off. Like there's something that's not quite right about them. It's hard for us to tell. Maybe they're like out of focus a little bit for the purposes of this scene. And we see you guys sort of like exit your shelter. You turn back and look at it, and we get this shot of like this metallic structure shelter. It almost looks like something an astronaut would live in on the moon or something, you know, like a metal shelter like that. Like it's pressure, like it looks like it could be pressurized or something, but it's like really worn down and been like dented in several places, very dirty. We see you guys like moving towards the shoreline. It's really only like 20 feet from the actual shelter. On the shoreline, we see like this sort of makeshift raft. And it's built from like a hodgepodge of debris, it looks like. So like bits of dark metal. There's some containers that are like made to help keep it afloat. Maybe they keep air in them. That sort of thing. And it's like tied off of this like long silken rope that's like attached to the bottom of the shelter. And like Ernest walks over to that spot and he starts untying it. Yeah, he turns to you and he says, should I go out with you?
No, stay here.
Yeah, he nods. And he like after he gets the rope untied, he tosses you the end of it. And he says, well, I suppose it could be happening any minute now. Be careful. I know we've dealt with these things a few times, but mostly we just try to avoid them. They're dangerous.
I know.
That's when we get an excuse to look at one of your memories, I think. This is kind of the perfect time to do the flashback and see this. So we get our trademark lens flare, and the memory we get is the first one on your sheet. You want to read through that?
I remember swimming through the dark waters, seeing an unconscious person in the dark. A pale blue light flickers on as they open their eyes and panic. I close my jaws around them and feel my collar sink into their neck. They go limp in my grasp. I swim to the surface and feel the sensation of causing them to flail and scream for help. As a raft approaches, people reach out to help my latest victim, and I see dark shapes swimming below me, eager for their new meal I have provided.
All right. So we sort of see that memory from your perspective, and then we flash back to you standing on the beach as you're like getting on this raft and starting to head out into the water. As you do, we see all these blue lights flickering on underneath the water. As the camera pans out, there's hundreds of them. Not only that, but we see more of the shoreline itself as we see all these bits of metallic debris and ruined structures that have been caved in, and this rust that sort of like covers all the metal that's washed up on this shore. And then we fade to black as we cut to the next scene with Dank and Silas. And Dank,
Getting 5 feet apart, watching a solar eclipse or eclipse.
do what?
Memes.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy your date.
Yeah, we see you guys. We see you guys like walking, maybe towards the strip, like towards some place where you guys can be able to watch this eclipse. And Silas says, "It's a strange world you come from. My awakening, anyways. It was very different than this."
Well, given what I've seen of you so far, I can imagine it was pretty hostile.
Yeah, he nods, and he says, "Where I came from, my illusion, I had a family. Magic was a part of our world. My family was killed by bandits. I explored parts of this magic that were off limits. I used it to seek out revenge for what had been done to the people I cared about. I met death willingly. And I suppose with a smile on my face."
Not a bad way to go, all things considered.
Yeah, he nods, and he says, "That's when I learned that none of it was real."
Hey, magic, though, that must have been pretty cool. Out here, in this illusion, people fantasize about having such abilities.
Where I come from, it was a burden. It was an excuse to be exterminated. It was heresy. See, the creature that lives inside of me, they didn't understand it. To them, it was necromancy, they would call it, demonic magic, that sort of thing. But they just didn't know what it was. The nightmare is both a blessing and a curse, I suppose.
Fair.
All my memories were taken. Should I? Do we need to come back? Are you good?
No, hang on.
Okay, sure.
Kids are acting up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Give me a second here.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Uh-oh.
So, how are you guys doing so far?
I just realized I've been muted this whole time.
Oh my god!
It's okay. It's all right.
This entire time.
Are you guys enjoying the session so far?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a huge fan of the flesh room.
Yeah, the flesh room's pretty cool.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah.
I loved my error messages.
All right.
I love getting impersonated.
Yeah. Okay. So
Hey, at least nobody called you a snobby rich dude.
yeah. So yeah, so like we see like a crowd starting to gather. There's people like looking up at the sky, like recording with their phones. Maybe we look up and we can see like it's getting close to happening. Like maybe we see like a dark silhouette that's starting to get close to the sun in the sky. And Silas is basically like talking about what he went through, and he says, my memories were taken from me when I started in this new place. I had to search for them, recover them. It took years to remember what I'd lost. And I wish I could say that it was useful, that it was worth it. But all it really brought was more pain. I suppose it could have been worse. See, it's going to be different for you, Dank. I sense that you'll grow to miss this place.
Well, you got fond memories and not so fond ones. The important thing is you still remember part of who you are. Doesn't matter where you go, because that's, where you are. And if circumstances dictate that I do not get to make that choice and I forget my time here, so be it. I'll make the best of what comes next. That's how I roll.
Yeah, he nods. He says, cutting off the power to a vagabond who hasn't been jolted awake yet can have some unpredictable effects. For what it's worth, I do hope you survive the process.
Yeah. I'll be able to see you on the other side, though, right?
He nods. He says, I'll find you. I'll figure out a way. You should, well, if you remember this, you should make an effort to get to the nearest settlement. There are others.
Solid advice.
There are others with you who, well, let's just say they may have a debt to settle with me, but all in due time.
Yeah, everyone has to pay the ferryman.
Yeah, he like, we see him like look around as like crowd starts to form. People are looking up at the sky. We can see the sky is like getting dimmer and dimmer, and we get the silhouette of the planetoid like moving in front of the sun. And he puts on his sunglasses and he says, well, are you ready then?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah, he nods and he says, well, I do regret that I can't be here to see this, but I'll find you on the other side.
He holds out a hand to him.
Like to shake his hand?
Yeah, to shake his
hand. Yeah, he'll shake your hand. And he says,
see you on the other side.
Yeah, he says, good luck. And we see him. Do you still have his gun?
I do still have his gun.
Yeah, he'll probably be like, he'll probably just be like, I'm gonna need like gesture to the gun.
Are you sure?
He's gonna say,
You're gonna have all kinds of resources on the other side. I'm probably not gonna start with anything but this.
he shakes his head. He says, I doubt you'll be able to take that with you.
If you can take it with you, couldn't I?
He says, I don't take it with me, but he says, I need you. I can do it or you can do it. And he like touches his index finger to the center of his forehead.
Oh. I hand him back the gun.
All right, yeah. So he like takes the gun and he makes sure it's loaded, and then he puts it to his temple, and he says, "If you can, do try and remember to swim." And then he shoots himself. The people around don't react to it. He shoots himself, blood goes flying out, his body lands on the ground, and it's laying there for a few seconds before it just sort of disappears. Like glitches, kind of like tracking on a old cassette tape, VHS tape. It sort of glitches out of existence. The crowd of people are sort of gathering, staring up at the sky. As we see the eclipse is like happening now. Do you look at it?
I mean, I don't have shades for looking at the eclipse. I don't want to go blind, even if this is a simulation.
Yeah, you could like block part of it with your hand and like, kind of like get the gist.
I think I'm going to go like full hobo here. Just turn around and start screaming, the end is nigh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Make a normal roll. Let's see if you're able to convince people. Just a crazy hobo.
Doesn't matter.
So yeah, we see the eclipse starting to happen, and as the the planetoid like moves in front of the, completely blocking the sunlight, everything kind of goes dark. We see this corona around the moon, or Nibiru, whatever you want to call it, and it like stays there. Usually it only lasts for a couple seconds, I think, when an eclipse happens, but this seems to last an uncomfortably long time. So people are all like looking up at this thing, wearing their special eclipse shades, all that stuff. You start to hear this sound. It sort of like floods into your mind. I don't know if you ever heard sky trumpets in real life, but it's a bit like that, I suppose. It just seems to kind of sound like it's coming from everywhere. And everyone else seems to hear this too. People are like covering their ears, or they're reacting to it, they're gasping.
People starting to believe me now.
Yeah. Maybe there's like one or two of them that are like kind of giving you a second look, like raising their eyebrows. There's this flash that ripples out from the eclipse as it, like a blue, like sort of shock wave that washes through the whole sky, ripples out.
Read the end of this with like just jamming on my bass guitar.
yeah. You see like pull out the guitar, jamming along. Yeah, the sky turns blue, the eclipse around this thing turns blue. You make another normal roll. If you got anything for like perception or like stuff that would help you see or notice things, you can apply that here.
Yep. I mean, not essentially themed that way, but
yeah,
good eyesight would be
Okay.
the thing.
Okay.
So normal roll then.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you see this sort of like pyramid-shaped silhouette that breaks off from the like the moon. It like breaks off from it and seems to be like moving really rapidly towards you all on the ground. I don't know if you've ever seen. There's like a really famous like viral video of like a pyramid floating above the Pentagon or something. I might have it. It's fake, obviously, but it's like a UFO. Here, I've got an image of it somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Dun 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 dun. Maybe. Here we go. So let me just upload it into Roll20. And if it'll work. Doesn't seem to want to work in Roll20. So let me try this again. No, it doesn't work in Roll20. That is okay. I will show it on stream. It would be much easier to do anyways. So...
Floating there.
Two Nibiru stuffs. And... it is... not... Oh, there it is. Right there. So, it looks something like that. If you're looking at the stream, you should be able to see it.
Got like a 30-second delay.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a little bit of delay.
Yeah, I'll leave it up for a
there it
couple
goes.
seconds. I'll leave it up for a couple seconds.
Okay.
So it looks something like that. Like this is the viral video. So this is kind of what this thing looks like. Is it like sort of zooms through the sky and sort of like pauses over the crowd, and it's just like sort of like slowly rotating there. All right. And there's another like flash from the eclipse that ripples through the sky. And then we hear like a lady in the crowd scream. Like bloody murder scream, like I'm dying right now scream. As you turn and look, there's a person next to her who's like unconscious on the ground, just like laying there still. She's like leaned over them, and she's like trying to figure out what's happened. As you're looking at that, another person in your periphery just drops to the ground. And then someone else in your periphery just drops to the ground, unconscious. And then it starts happening like everywhere. Like everyone watching this starts to like one by one, just all falling to the ground. People are screaming and panicking. Some people start to take off running. They only get a few steps before they pass out or die and fall to the ground. Then what do you do? What do you do when you see this happening?
0 fucks given. It's a simulation. The AI is finally getting unplugged. I'm just gonna keep jamming.
All right. Make a. Let's see how good your jam session is. Make a roll. You probably got memory for this.
Stringed instruments, yeah.
Yeah.
The vibes don't stop.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So you're rocking out on the guitar. It's going pretty good. Everyone else is freaking out and just like dying one by one as you're rocking on the guitar on this thing. And then at some point, you two pass out. We see you.
Do I feel it coming?
You might get like a second or two. Yeah.
Just like strike a pose.
God. Oh God.
All right. Sure. And then everything goes dark. Okay. Now, I got bad news and I got good news, Dank.
Okay.
Which do you want first?
At first, always.
Bum, bum, bum.
The bad news is every memory on your sheet, except for the ones you started with, which was like three or four. I can't remember what it was for you.
4.
Every one of those is gone.
Damn.
Besides the ones you started with. Now this happened to everyone else too.
So I lose my +3 to violence.
You do.
Bummer.
Your +2 firearms becomes a +1, I guess. Wait, you have 2 firearm memories.
Yeah, you told me to write another one and just give it +2 instead of giving the first one +3.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so that would be new ones. So you started with 3 then, didn't you? That second one was blank. Is that right?
It was filled in, but you just said that don't put any effect to it. So I guess I can remove it.
Okay. You can always like purchase the same memory back with memory points.
But I burned all my memory points, right?
I know. That's the gist of it.
Sucks. Should have saved them.
The bad news is for you, because you didn't die or get broken. I guess it's kind of a good thing, because it's your choice how this works, as opposed to it just being assigned to you. Good old Cassidy has permanent, well, not permanent, but she starts with depression 1 because she was broken mentally. You get to pick which detachment you want to start with. Detachment from violence, detachment from kindness, or detachment from helplessness. As witnessing the end of the simulation damages you.
It's kind of a bummer. My mindset seemed pretty cool right at the end.
It does. You'll get a chance to fix it like in play.
What are the different effects for those different detachments?
Sure. Let's check it out. Let me pull up the PDF and we can take a look. I know Silas would be like detachment from violence. Definitely do that. Let's see here. There we go. Forward book. All right. And here we go. All right. Oh, zoom in. Okay. So, so it's prompted by violence, prompted by helplessness, or prompted by the unknown. So for prompted by violence, it would be detached from calm. The symptom is whenever your vagabond exerts violence onto someone, the way in which they do it will showcase the character's lack of remorse and self-control. Will make it so that other people around them will need to roll a stress test against 3 dice. The number of dice they roll against goes up by 1 for every increment in intensity. So basically, you start out with 1 there. Now, again, you can get rid of this stuff if you want to. It's as simple as like wiping your memory away again. Prompted by helplessness, you'll get attached from kindness. This is whenever your vagabond witnesses a situation in which other people need help, and in the event that they want to help, the player will have to spend an influence point to do so. The number of influence points needed goes up by 1 for every increment in intensity. So each of these, you'll just start out at the lowest. So 1.
I'm gonna go for prompted by violence.
Detach from calm. Right.
Yep.
So Silas was right. You are going to be more like him. Congratulations. Now, just make sure to put that on the revelation part on your first sheet. You'll put detach from calm 1, and then I can copy the description in there for you if you want, but it's basically page 111 from the book.
I get it.
You got it. Okay. All right. As we see it go dark, and yeah, you pass out. Your interesting will be a little bit different from the way other people woke up. You wake up in the same pod. The blue light comes on. You're in that same sort of machine-like kind of coffin. As the blue light comes on, the fluids like being drained from around you, and it's sort of like the lights like flickering on and off, like there's something wrong with the machine itself. A panel opens in front of you. It's pretty long compartment that opens up. It's like a slide, like a door slide that kind of opens up. It's maybe like 3-4 feet long, maybe a little bit longer. As you see this compartment open up and this thing pushes out, it's like a stand that's holding something. Looking down at it, I think since you still have your stringed instruments memory, you do know what this is, but it looks a little different. It's now like a silvery blue color. And you see a guitar being presented to you. What was the guitar, the specific guitar that this
It
was?
was a 1966 Guild Starfire acoustic.
Yeah, so it's like a hollow body, right?
Yeah, it's a bass guitar.
yeah, dope. Okay. So yeah, you see this thing come out, and it's sort of like presented out of the inside of the machine. And it's got this silvery blue kind of color to it. What was the you had like a name for the material. I can't remember what it was.
Platinum and osmium.
Yeah. Okay. Platinum
So
osmium.
Yeah, it's kind of heavy.
Especially for you. As you go to move, you suddenly realize it's a lot harder to move than it should be. Your muscles groan and ache as you reach out to grab this thing. It doesn't have a strap on it, but you can carry it. You can still carry it.
Just grab it by the neck, put it up on my shoulder. Easiest way to deal with that kind of weight.
Yeah. Well, to get it up over your shoulder, you're going to need more room.
Fair.
You're kind of in this coffin, but you can like hold it against your body for now until it opens. Do you like do anything else to like try to? Do you panic or start flipping out?
The guitar would seem somewhat familiar, and I just go through the scales to try and calm down.
Okay. And yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Make a normal roll.
Would I get my +1 for
Yes.
stringed instruments?
Yes. She's
Awesome.
Success. Awesome. So you do manage to keep yourself sort of calmed down and grounded as the like hatch above you starts to vibrate. All the lights and like little panels in the inside of the compartment, the hatch the guitar came from closes back over. And all the lights start flickering before there's like this surge sound, like an electrical short, like a bzzz, as they all go out and sort of like die in this compartment. The hatch is like opens just a crack, like it opens like an inch, 2 inches, and water starts pouring in. What do you do?
How much room is there between like the floor and where the hatch is at the opening?
The floor and the hatch, like just enough for your body to fit.
Okay, I'm gonna use my +1 to mechanics to try and open this hatch.
Yeah. Make a roll with a +1. You can probably like the guitar is made of sturdy. Yeah. The guitar is made of sturdy enough material. You could probably almost use that to pry it open. Really. You are like still naked. But yeah, you're able to like wedge either your hands, your fingers, or like the end of the guitar in there and sort of like pry this thing open as it like fights against you. Once the lights go out, it keeps trying to close back up. It's like an elevator and the door is trying to close on you, but you like stick something out in front of it and it like holds the door open, so it opens back up and then tries to close again. But eventually you're able to like pry it open. It doesn't try to close anymore. And you're able to like swim out if you you want to kick off, make a break for the surface. Good stuff. All right. Why don't we do this? We're gonna fade back in to Naela, but why don't we take our break here? We're a little bit late, but we can go ahead and take a break here, like a bathroom break, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
And when we come back, we'll see what Naela is doing on her little raft. See what's gonna happen there, shall we?
Don't rock the boat.
Good luck to everyone. I'm sure you'll all be fine.
Oh my.
We're gonna drown.
and-
I'm in danger.
Yes, you are in danger. And
Wait.
it turns out, just by the way, Wolfy was right. The best possible situation was to die. Unfortunately, that's the best.
I learned a lot of cool stuff as a player.
It's cool. Like, you can still get that stuff back, man.
No, I mean just like learning about like the lore of the game, the characters, what's going on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess I was just worried that you'd be upset. Like, it took away all those awesome memories you made.
It is kind of a bummer, but I mean, like,
Yeah.
it happens.
Copy
I
and
could have
paste.
Yeah.
Copy and
Everybody
paste.
got the same thing.
burned
Alright.
all of my memory points, so I'm sure you guys banked some of them.
Nope.
Nope.
Bummer.
I took theirs away, if I recall. I was like, you guys lose all
Yeah.
your points except for what I awarded at the end of that session, I think.
Yep.
Yep. 3 memory points, 2
Yeah,
And,
2 influence.
influence.
I'll do the same for you, Dank. If you don't have 2 memory points and 3 influence, like if you have lower than that, you'll start out with that, just to be fair.
I'm like stacked on influence.
Yes,
Not anymore.
I awarded like 3 bonus to you, I think, before we started. But yeah. All right. We'll take a quick like 5-10, go to the bathroom, get something to drink, and when we come back, we'll start off with Naela. Quick thing, giveaway. So, Araukana Media and Federico Sons, writer creator of the game, has said, hey, we'll give away 3 copies of the game. So that's what we're doing. So what you guys can do, if you want to make sure you enter the giveaway. Now, what I would do is, because we've had some problems with the giveaway, like getting it set up and working. So what I'm just going to say is this. When we do episode 4, so 2 weeks from today, enter the chat on that day during the live show. Make sure you'll type in a keyword broken in the chat to get an entry. And by the end of the session on episode 4, we're going to do a giveaway. Yes, Wise Man Once has the keyword. There you go. Broken. And what we'll do is we'll give away 1 copy of the game at the end of episode 4. We'll do another giveaway for episode 5 and give away another copy of the game, and then another copy for episode 6. And if you win, just be ready to give us like shipping information. If you want to use a PO box or something, that's fine. Or like an email address, maybe if you'd prefer just to get a PDF copy. And I'll send that info over to Federico over at Araukana Media, and they'll ship it out to you guys. So big thank you to them for letting us do the giveaway. Check out their website. If you just want to buy the game, you can definitely do that too. AraukanaMedia.com. And you can buy the game there. They also have like cool dice. They've got an expansion for the game called Xanadu, which we've seen a little bit hinted at with Zack's character. And all that kind of cool stuff. So check all that out and make sure you guys get entered in the giveaway. All right. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thanks, guys. I'm here.
Use it for the virtual camera.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
I am back. Are you guys all ready? It looks like Zack might be having some camera issues.
No, I was trying to show off my Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh.
My Lego
Yeah, I
set.
saw the model for
I've seen
that. I
It's
actually
so
wanted to get that.
cool.
That is pretty cool, yeah.
We were just on the subject of
You missed it
Legos.
though. Dank had his little ones on the camera.
You know, I'll just post it in
I missed it. I guess I missed it. I was
I'm
getting
so
I was
sweet.
getting something together here. I
Needless
got,
to give her a minute.
I got a couple things ready for you guys. We'll see
Dun,
how
dun,
this works.
dun.
We're gonna try out doing like a map for this. We'll see how well it
Okay.
goes.
EPK.
What flavor you got?
EPK.
TPK is not what we want. Let's
Oh.
not do. Let's not-
I saw the
Gonna
top of the
say-
bottle. My first thought was like those Jack Daniel's lemonades.
Oh no. I am a man. I drink scotch.
I have a
But-
bottle of Kraken next to me, so I understand.
I have Fireball.
Dang, I do not drink.
I drink it on occasion. You know, I'm
I
just gonna
drink
put this in
When I
taste
know
on.
the kids are going to be up really late.
I used to drink. And
Here we go.
I've had Kraken before, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the recovery day you'll likely have.
Oh, I love Kraken. I have a mini bottle of it too.
Right on.
And I have
I'm
a.
Norwegian and Romanian. I could drink for 3 days straight and wake up sober.
I am Scottish and Irish.
I'm going to regret this, but what is Kraken?
Rum. It is
Rum.
by
Ah,
far some of the best rum I've tried.
Oh yeah. One thing I like to do with it is I make rum balls.
Oh,
ooh.
Yeah, so you take like chocolate graham crackers and you crush them up into a whole butter.
It does sound
If
pretty
you
good.
picked up the Legos, you wouldn't step on.
that's a good character though.
The child is learning pain firsthand.
I was like, I'm sorry, but do you want your child to die?
Hey, at least the lights are on. Nothing worse than doing it in the dark and not knowing where the others are.
Yeah.
We're about to get back to the live stream, guys. I'll let I'll let you watch it afterwards. Yeah, that's somebody else's profile picture. That's the cat.
I like your beanie.
So she likes your hat.
Yes.
You can talk to them after. Okay. Okay. When the game's ended, and we're off the
Yeah.
stream. I'll come and introduce you again. All right. Let me see your foot. Is it bleeding? Oh, it's not bleeding. You'll live. Don't you start all that fussing.
Nice, Zack.
Oh,
All right, you're cool. Now go on.
that thing took so fucking long to build.
Oh, I bet.
All
I
right.
love that it's posable.
Are you guys?
Imagine it's not. It's only stuck in that pose.
Well, I hope y'all are ready. So let's see what we're looking at here. As we cut back to Naela, who is boating out into the water on
Is
her
Nayla back?
on her raft. Silvertiger, are you back? Maybe she's not.
Still
She's
mute.
still muted.
She's
Sorry, I'm here.
There we go.
All right. Unrooted says, I have tons of respect for those who don't drink, but I bleed whiskey.
I don't drink very often. It's just a very. Lord, I haven't drank in like 3 years. It's just something my family never made a big deal out of. But oh my god, if there's that one customer, sometimes you just need a shot.
Oh my god, I'm with you on that.
By the way, here's what Rita looks like. This is Cassidy's building super Rita right here. That's what she looks like. I couldn't get the token to work last week for some reason, but it's working now.
Huh.
Okay. That did share it to you guys when I did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I was wondering what that was. I was like, I didn't click on that.
All right. So, Naela, as you set off into the darkness, a bunch of these blue lights start to turn on under the water. You can see some dark silhouettes swimming around them as the camera sort of pans over the surface of this water. We see lots of people starting to surface, break the surface of the water, gasping for air. There are also some just like floating bodies that surface as well. There's lots of people. And in this hodgepodge of people, there's a couple familiar faces. So, Naela, what do you do?
As soon as she sees the familiar faces, she would start to go to them first.
All right. Which one do you move towards first?
Probably the one that looks like Cassidy first.
Right here. Okay. So you probably got like some kind of a paddle, or maybe even like a long staff to sort of like push along the bottom of this sort of lake to kind of like push the raft forward. Yeah, you're able to make a move toward Cassidy. You get to here, and there's a woman in the water. She's reaching out her hand, screaming for help. Cassidy, you surface. Zack, Dank, Darren, you all surface in the water. As soon as you go to take your first breath, it's like breathing. It burns. Like, it burns your lungs. The air is... It has like a odor to it, like a chemical kind of odor. It's very different than what you're accustomed to. It's nearly toxic. Also, another thing that happens when you break the surface of the water is the immense pressure of this place sort of like bears itself on you. So gravity is much stronger here than what you're used to. It's approximately 2.4 G, I think, is what we're in. So once you break the surface of the water, until a thing happens, you don't know what that thing is, you're gonna be at a -2 to physical checks. The water kind of helps stabilize it while you're in it, but you're not a fish, so you can't breathe water, unfortunately. So what I want you guys to do is on your sheet where it says there's like a center section that says stable. You're gonna put that to a -2, and that should just like affect all physical checks until
Get out.
until you can get accustomed to
Get
this
out.
environment. As you guys break the surface, you see Naela coming towards you on this sort of like makeshift raft. You would recognize her face. Maybe, well, I guess maybe not, since the dream is now wiped from most of your memories. There probably would be something familiar about her face. She's very short and very muscly. So, Naela, this lady like reaches out to the side of your boat and she's screaming for help. What are you gonna do? She's like, help me, I can't swim. Let me onto your boat, please.
Is there a way for Naela to be able to tell if she's actually, a person or not?
Yes. Do you have anything that helps you with like... Well, let me ask you this. What are you concerned that she might be?
A mermaid?
Okay. So you,
Yeah.
okay, so yes, you can make a roll if you have anything that applies to mermaids or perception or like observation. That can
Would
apply.
survival work for this because mermaids are killers?
Sure. Yeah, I'll let it ride.
Okay.
Let's give you a +2 then.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is definitely a mermaid. You can tell by the glowing around her neck where the collar would be. Yeah, so you're looking at this lady and she's flailing around. She's got this glowing sort of like necklace around her neck, and she's reaching out for the boat and she's begging for help.
Well, I'm concerned that she's gonna, tip my boat over, so I'm gonna shoot her.
All right. Do you have a gun?
Yes.
All right. Let me see here. What kind of gun do you have?
Oh, shit, hold on. Well, I have a skill 4 firearms, but I don't.
You don't.
So I guess I hit her? I don't know.
Here's what I want you to do. I'm gonna add, because you should have a spear. So I'll just add that to your belongings for you. You can definitely spear her if you like. The spear will give you I'll give you a +2 for spear attacks. Because items and armor give you modifiers just like memories do. So you have this spear. You can certainly stab her with it if you like.
Okay. Do I add the +1 against mermaids or no?
Yes. So I'll give you a
And
total
the most-
+3.
Yeah.
It would be contested. So that's a 8.
Oh,
It's fine. We can keep this one here. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. And the mermaid. Do. Let me check your stats, mermaid. I think it's got a +5, but I just want to make sure. Or
Oh,
not
God.
a +5. I think it just has a 5.
Okay.
For swimming, it's got 6, 4. Okay. All right. Actually, that's for the toxin. So I'm gonna assume it's just a normal roll then for like trying to grapple with this spear. Maybe it'll try to like take it from you. All right. 6. Yours was like definitely more than double that. So you stab it. You stab through like the lady's like collarbone. Like her chest is exposed and everything. She's got this weird looking necklace on. Maybe you stab like right through like the neck collarbone area, and this black blood like spews out, and we see it like coating the surface of the water as she screams. Her voice gets all distorted, and she looks right at you. And now she's like, she's got this look of rage and fury on her face. You've taken her down to wounded for 8, 10, 12, 13. Yeah, you take her down to wounded. One more hit, and she's done for. She's still like clawing at the edge of the raft.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hit her again.
Here, I'll give you an appropriate logo to use, because this is what the mermaids look like. There you go. You guys can see that. That's what they look like. Have fun with that, nightmare fuel.
Can I just say nope?
So the one on the left is what they look like when they have a body in their grasp. The one on the right is what they look like without the body.
Nope.
So yeah. Yeah, you stab it, hit the body of this thing. It punctures through, maybe it like nicks part of the collar, and you wrench it free, and this black blood kind of goes spurting everywhere. It's still trying to grab onto the boat. Now it's like trying to rock the boat. It's visibly trying to like flip it over with you on it.
Yeah, I gotta hit her again.
All right. Make the same roll. Do a contested this time, but +3. 19. You roll
Let's
3
go.
4s. I mean, there's no way that this thing is not with a 3
Five.
4. Yeah. So we see like you pull the spear back, and we see like this black goo dripping off of it, and then you drive it forward again. This time it goes straight through like where her heart would be. We see it come out the other side, and it hits like the back end of the collar that runs up the back of the person's spine, and it just completely severs it. All the lights on the necklace around her neck go dark, and she just starts floating in the water like silently. So you just killed her for sure. There, I'll get rid of that. And boom. Okay, so you kill the thing. You're gonna keep moving towards Cassidy.
Who am I closest to at this point? I can't really tell.
You got Zack is right there. Cassidy's here. Dank's here, and Darren is here. So they're all pretty close together. And then you got like Rita's super you wouldn't recognize. Tony is over here. And the knife guy is over here. So like I don't know.
Knife guy.
Yeah, the guy who killed Zack in the dream.
Actually, we're gonna change course and go to Darren first, because that seems like almost a pretty clear path, and I'm gonna need someone to help me out here, so...
Okay. Alright, so you're gonna change course and go towards Darren, so I'm gonna move you that direction. What are the rest of you doing? So you like break the surface of the water, you look around, you hear all these people screaming as other people are breaking the surface and calling out for help and flailing around. You can make like a normal roll to see if you can tell that there's shapes like swarming you under the water, if you like. Yeah. That would be that you would get 2 more D4 because it's not a physical check. So I mean, if you want to roll 2 more D4, just to see if you get it like 2 4s and get a free memory, you can do that. It's already a success for sure. Oh my god. Okay.
There we go.
That's why I wanted you to.
There went all of our luck for today.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you get a rule of 3s, critical success. Dank gets Dank, roll another D4, just in case you get a 4 and turn it into a success.
Why did it only give me like 2?
It's because the gravity takes
Because we're
away.
all negative too, yeah.
Yeah, it's because the gravity takes away from every roll instead of just physical rolls for some
And
reason.
I fumble.
Okay, so Cassidy, you get a positive memory. We don't have to write it out right now, but it's going to give you +1 to perception or observation, however you want to put that. It's basically picking up on clues, visible cues, and stuff like that. Dank, that would turn it into a success instead of a major failure. Zack,
Oh boy.
3 to 1. It's still a fail. It's actually a fumble now, so you get the same thing as Darren. So Zack, Darren, you don't see it. Cassidy, you see a bunch of them. You can see a lot of these terrible silhouettes swimming around, several different people, including you. And that's going to cause you to make a stress check. Because you know they're there. Same thing with you, Dink. This would be a stress check prompted by the unknown, I guess. But it's going to be a relatively easy one. So here's your DC for the stress check. 4. Should be pretty easy to beat.
This is just another normal roll.
Yeah, but give it a +2 if it's gonna give you, because you want to roll 3 dice. This is not a physical roll, so. Cassidy gets a 3-3. It's a you beat it for sure.
Holy shit!
It should.
There we go.
It should just be 3 dice for Dank. Still a success. So what we're gonna do when we roll too many dice by accident, we're just gonna take the first ones. So we'll leave like the last one off. Unfortunately,
You'd say give it a +2.
Do you have anything that gives you like a +2 stress checks against the unknown?
No.
Okay, yeah, then you wouldn't get the +1.
Boy.
Let me check your sheet, Dank, because I think it's not giving you a +2. Let me just check. Or I mean a -2. I think it's giving you a -1. Yeah, you're on a -1. That's why it's doing that. So let me give you the -2 so it works right. Okay. So, and then Zack and Darren, they don't see them. So you're going to start making a break for Darren. Darren, are you swimming towards the boat? I think the boat you guys can see. It's pretty
Get out of here,
obvious.
go ask
If I
Uncle
see it,
Lewis.
totally.
Okay.
Go ask Uncle Lewis. Go.
Are you talking to us, Dank?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry. Like I'm confused. All right. So Naela.
Yeah, totally swim towards the boat.
Okay. Well, then you guys probably meet in the middle, like right here. I'll put you next to the boat. Dank, I'm assuming everyone else is going to try to make a break for the boat too. Is that fair?
Real quick, are the things in the water paying more attention to things that are splashing around, or the things that are more being still?
Splashing around.
I'm ottering this bitch, man. I got 2 fucking life preservers on my chest. I'm using them.
So you're going to stay still.
Yeah, I'm gonna like how the otters like lay on their back and everything, you know?
Okay. All right.
Like, I'll move my hands and stuff above the water to be like, yeah, I'm alive, I'm not dead, but I'm not gonna like splash a bunch in the water.
Okay. Okay. Make a normal roll. This would be for like stealth. So it's not like you're moving. So you give yourself a +2 to counteract the gravity. Okay. Yeah, it works. All right. Success. So you're not splashing around, and you don't trigger their ire, so they're gonna start going for other people around you as you sit still. Darren, I need you to make a swimming check. So this is gonna be regular roll. Gravity will affect it, so it'll be a -2. It should be -2.
Okay.
As you try to swim.
No!
Yeah, you're trying to move your limbs, but they're just so sore and atrophied, and the weight. It's like trying to lift your arm is like trying to lift several cement blocks. They're so much heavier than they should be, and you basically just manage to tread water as you're like trying to swim towards this thing. Now she's making her way towards you. She's gonna be there shortly. This lady behind the boat tries to swim towards it.
God damn it.
We see her like reach out for the boat. You get a look at her. She's not wearing a necklace. As she like reaches out for the boat and tries to like pull herself up, we see one of these creatures appear behind her. As it comes up out of the water and wraps itself around her from the behind, the collar latches itself to her neck. So I'll give them contested rolls. Here's the mermaid. And here is the lady. It grabs onto her and pulls her below the water. She's not dead yet, but this thing is like about to get the collar in. You probably see a little bit of blood. This time it's red. As it starts to like pull in the water. She would be taken down to beaten. Okay. Whoops. Buttons. Need to watch what I'm doing with the buttons. Okay. Let's see. Rita is going to try to swim. She has a penalty. And she fails. Cassidy staying still. Dank and Zack, what are y'all doing?
I'm gonna try to swim for the boat, but while I do this, you said like people were screaming and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
Would I hear Tony? Since we're kind of close.
I'll allow another roll to see. Be like a normal roll unless you got perception or something. Actually, you are really close. You're like 15 feet from him. I'm gonna say yeah. You see him.
I'll try to start swimming for the boat.
Okay.
And hopefully I can do something. Yeah, I'll start swimming for the boat.
All right. Do you have anything that helps you with swimming?
No.
Okay. Make a roll with -2, so just be 1d4.
Hey.
Success. All right, so you managed to like start swimming towards the boat. I'm gonna say you get to like right here. I'll put you a little bit closer. I'll put you like right there. Rita failed. She doesn't get anywhere. Tony. Oh, I'm gonna roll for Tony and for Knife Guy. Here's Tony.
Knife guy.
Here's Knife
I
Guy.
didn't get any.
They both fail miserably. So as you like start swimming towards the boat, you were gonna try to do something. What were you gonna try to do?
Oh, I was planning on just getting the boat and asking for us to circle around so I could stab Tony.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
Just real quick.
Yeah. Now,
Battle.
I'm just gonna point out. Some of you guys had some people tell you, remember to swim. Remember. So if you got enough points to add a memory to help you with swimming here, that'd be a good, smart, wise thing to do. Just pointing that out. All right. Dank, what are you gonna do?
Swimming towards the boat.
All right. Make a roll. If you got anything that helps with like physical activity or swimming, it will apply here. Otherwise,
And I use the memory points I have to write a memory for it.
absolutely.
It's gonna be just athletics in general.
Okay. I will allow it. That'll give you a +1, which make it a 2d4 roll.
But since I wrote a memory, isn't it an auto success?
Oh yeah. You're right. It's auto success. So I'm gonna say you swim up to the boat. All right, Naela, you got this guy who's swimming up to the boat now. What do you do? What do you do with that?
Okay, so I'm not seeing any glowing stuff like I did from before, right?
Correct. He just got this weird like device in his hands, like this long, like maybe it's some kind of instrument. I don't think you're exactly sure what it is. But yeah, there's no glowing necklace around his neck or anything like that.
She is going to take a quick look at the instrument and just kind of be like, in her mind, this can be used as a weapon, be careful. But she's going to stick her hand out and try to help him up.
All right. So you get to this boat, Dank, and yeah, you see this familiar face looking at you, and she sticks her hand out to help you up onto the boat.
Climb up and bring my guitar with me.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right, so I'll let you go ahead and join the boat there. You get a look at this lady once you get up onto the raft. She's quite short and stocky, kind of short and wide, very muscular. It's once you get onto the boat and completely out of the water, it's very difficult to move. It's hard to breathe. Like you feel like a constant weight on your chest. Like you're constantly like in this constant state of trying to catch your breath, but you can't quite catch it. Yeah, it's really painful and like distracting. Like it takes all your focus just to keep oxygen going to your lungs.
I don't know, man. Can I read you the memory I wrote?
Sure.
Advanced physical fitness training, swimming, climbing, running, all while carrying extreme weights. That was the norm for us in the outfit. Essentially carrying twice your weight at all times was to be expected.
All right, that's fair enough. Yeah, the gravity is 2.4 Gs here. So the gravity is much heavier than what you're used to. Also, like the air itself is kind of toxic. It's so the gravity is so much more intense that like people evolve to survive it. Essentially, I mean it's still difficult for you. That being said,
Oh yeah,
carrying 2.5 times your weight is pretty astonishing thing to do. It'd be like carrying around 400 pounds on your back.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of weight. So I don't know. Like maybe it's a little bit easier for you, but it's definitely not
still
sustainable.
hard. Yeah, definitely still hard.
Okay. All right. So you're fine for now. Okay. Tony and Knife Guy.
Ezekiel.
Okay. Ezekiel is fine. Let's see if they manage to survive first attack here. As two of these things go to attack them. There's an attack on Tony and attack on Knife Guy. And they'll get a chance to defend, but they'll have a -2, so they really only have 1d4. There's 1 and 3. So Tony is killed immediately as this thing like wraps around his body and pulls him under the water. We see like some bubbles drift to the surface as he's pulled under. He's like reaching out, calling out for help. And we see this thing come up and wrap around him and tug him under. Knife Guy, 3 and 14, also killed instantly as this thing comes up and wraps around him and pulls him under the water. And they both will vanish. So let me get rid of them. Okay. And lady by the boat here. Let's see if she survives another attack, and she should get 1d4, not 3d4. She definitely does not, as this thing tucks her under the water, and she also disappears. Rita. Rita. She killed instantly? Yes, she is killed instantly.
Ooh.
Okay, well there goes your building super as you watch, Cassidy, as this lady who's been so nice to you, well, she's familiar. Maybe you don't remember every interaction with her, but you watch as this terrible monster comes up from behind her in the water, wraps around her, and tugs her down. She doesn't even have enough time to let out a scream of pain or surprise as she disappears into the darkness.
Oh shit.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Let's Darren, Cassidy, Zack.
I'm still going to be swimming to the boat.
All right. Make
Ditto.
All right. Make rolls. Be 1d4 for each of you guys. Zack gets a success.
Hey.
Darren gets a fail. So I'm going to say, Zack, you make it to the boat. Cassidy, what are you doing? You still trying to stay stealthy?
I'm just floating, yeah.
All right. You're gonna-
Damn it!
I'm gonna keep your last roll, which is success, active. I won't make you roll again. All right. So Zack makes it to the edge of the boat. Naela, looking over, you see this guy who's like covered in bits of like skin that are just sort of like stuck to his body from the wetness. He's kind of gross looking. He's like reaching out for the boat for help. He doesn't have one of those glowing necklaces, so that's good, I guess.
Do I see this as well, or am I kind of out of commission right now?
You can see it. It's just like, yeah, it's you could probably like sit up and kind of prop yourself up against something on the raft. I would say, yeah, you can see it.
Does she recognize his face?
You do. He was at the table with you.
Then she'll help him up.
All right. Let's reach out and help him up as he crawls on board the boat.
Thank you.
All right.
Don't touch anything.
Okay.
Okay. Cassidy staying stealth. Darren doesn't make it anywhere quite yet. Let's see. Who hasn't made a stress check yet? Cassidy and Zack did, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone else, as this scene has started to unfold, and you can kind of see some of the people getting pulled underwater and all that stuff. We'll just give you guys a standard old 2d4 stress check. A real easy one, you know? Just a real easy one, just in case you might fail. Oh my gosh, I rolled 2 4s? What?
Oh, nice.
Now this would be unknown.
Do I need to make one as well?
No, actually, or you've seen this stuff before. This isn't unknown to you. You know what these creatures are.
Okay, so it is against the unknown?
It is, yeah.
Cool, I'm going to spend my memory points for that.
All right, you gonna make a memory gives you a +1 response to unknown?
Yes.
Cool.
On my sheet, I have 3 memory points. I think that might be an error.
Okay.
No, that's what he gave to us last session.
Okay, cool. I use all 3 then.
Okay, so I give you a +2 then, right?
Yeah.
And then, so you can put the memory in, put +2 response to unknown if you want. It's automatic success.
I thought I would have had a +2 to athletics.
Yeah, if you spent 3 points, yeah, it would give you +2 athletics. Okay. And I guess anyone else who hasn't made the stress check can make it or write a memory. Would that be you, Dank?
Yeah, I haven't had to make one yet. Can I use an influence point to make you re-roll one of those 4s?
You can, yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
All right, here's the reroll. It is a 4.
God!
I'm sorry, man. I have no control. I paid my Roll20 subscription this month.
I was just about to say, stop paying!
I'm gonna burn another one.
All right, you want me to do another one? That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do another one.
I swear to God, if
And
it's
another
4.
four.
Actually, I take this back. You could have spent that point to make me re-roll both of them, I think. So let me just re-roll the other one first. That one is a 1. So now it's a total of 5. And
Okay.
you can keep that second influence point. You can still make me re-roll again if you want, but...
No, I think I should probably be able to beat a 5.
Okay, all right.
I thought that was just for an unknown character.
Damn it.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay. So you just
I
go...
can spend another one to re-roll my roll.
Okay, yeah. You can re-roll the whole roll, or you can just re-roll the 1. Up to you.
I'm gonna just re-roll the 1.
And it's a
It makes it at 5.
There we go.
5
Yay!
is deadlocks, so you don't go down. You don't go down on mine step. But yeah, it's like this whole situation is pretty freaky, but it's not breaking you mentally. Okay. I think everybody else is accounted for. So, here's what we see, Zack. You see Tony resurface at the edge of the boat, along with Knife Guy. And they're reaching out, pleading for help. Please, we can't swim. Please let us up. Zack, what are you doing here?
I kind of tap on Nayla's shoulders. Can I borrow that spear?
Naela, you would know that he's in no condition to fight. right. Not until you give him something to help him brave the gravity. Because he's gonna have like -2 to all physical checks. It includes spearing things.
You hear tons of mumbling, and then she opens up a bag on the boat, and she pulls out one of the injectors, and she stabs you with it, and then she injects a substance inside of you.
My
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so we get a
He gets drugs and I get to die.
yeah. So yeah, she pulls out a small like electronic device, has like a little needle on the end of it. Probably looks like I don't know, like maybe insulin injector or something like that.
EpiPen?
Yeah, EpiPen.
EpiPen?
Yeah. And we get the nice sound that we love so much from earlier. As she injects you with this stuff, and immediately, like you feel a warm sensation start to spread through your body. It's over the course of a couple seconds, it becomes easier to breathe, easier to move around, but you're also kind of tripping balls. So you're gonna like see stuff start melting.
Oh my God.
You're gonna hallucinate a little bit here.
Vision quest.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a very trippy experience. You're having a bad trip, man. But yeah, you can take away the penalty from the gravity now, so you're back at stable
Yeah.
for the time being. And yeah, what do you do?
Here, hit them with this ore. You're not getting my fucking spear.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I take the oar and do I see Tony getting closer?
Yeah, he's right at the edge of the boat.
Yeah, no, I start wailing on him.
All right. Give you a attack roll against Tony. I'll give you a +1 because you're using an oar as like a weapon.
Would this be contested or normal?
It would be contested. If you got anything else that applies to like melee fighting, you can apply that.
I don't think I do, but let me check. Responsible. Okay, no.
Okay. So you like start swinging on with this oar. Tony's gonna try to grab it and like pull it away from you, and he fails. And you doubled his roll, so you like wail on him with this thing. And yeah, you see
Start
it, like
screaming, "Fuck you!"
okay, yeah. And you're just like beating with this thing. We see one of his eyes gets like permanently closed by like the bludgeoning from the oar, and he goes down to wounded. And yeah, he's like his face is bleeding all over the water. He's still like reaching out and calling for you, but now his voice is all like just like kind of distorted from being beaten, so he's like muffled and slurring his words. It's kind of creepy. But yeah, you got him. You got him on the ropes. The other guy is gonna try to grab you. As he comes up behind you while you're swinging at Tony here. You get a contested roll for this too, and it's the same roll. He's gonna roll. He rolls a 7.
Would this be with +1?
Yes. Oh, okay. So this guy grabs a hold of you and he starts scratching at you. He's trying to pull you back into the water. You go down one body step to beaten as he like his nails dig into you. He's screaming. He's screaming like ferally. You know.
Naela's going to stab the one that just grabbed Zack.
All right. Make a roll. I think you have 6 dice, right? Because the spear.
Are we allowed to have more than +3?
I think +3 is the max you can get.
Yeah,
Okay,
+3 is the
because-
max.
I was about to do some damage.
Yeah. It'll be against his 7. So you double it. Okay. So yeah, you stab him. You bring him down 2 body steps, severely wounding the guy. And there's a bunch of like black blood as opposed to red blood that spurts out. These guys both have glowing things around their necks now, just by the way. And yeah, they're like reaching out for the thing, and you stab him as he like claws at Zack. and he like kind of pulls back a little bit and sort of like hisses. Yeah, you've held him off for now. Darren, what are you doing? Wolfy?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was try swim again.
All right. Make a roll. -2 for gravity, so 1d4. Unless you want to make a memory.
I have no more memory points to make memories with.
All right. Fail.
I'm getting closer. The other ones were 2s. This is a 3.
All right. Cassidy, what are you doing?
I'm still floating, but I'm gonna be like, I'm not dead. I don't know what the fuck these things are, but get me out of here.
Okay. As you call out, this guy hears you.
Oh,
You
shit.
see Tony. We see Tony after he's gotten beaten by the oar, and it backs up, and then Cassidy starts yelling, and we see him turn slowly towards Cassidy, and then he looks back towards Zack for a second. There's almost like this weird recognition of maybe a flashback to when he said, "We'll pay that redhead a visit" or whatever. And then he's gonna start swimming towards her. I will give him a roll for swimming, but they're very good at swimming. That is a fail.
Fuck.
That is
Even with 1-1. Ooh.
well, it'd be a fumble.
Oh.
Yeah, it'd be because he didn't roll any 4s on 6d4, so he's a fumble failure. So maybe he tries to like start swimming, but Zack hitting him with the oar or something like stops him from being able to go very far at all. Okay. Some of these other people that are sort of screaming out in the darkness are also swarmed. Why don't we just get the rest of them, huh? We can just go ahead and attack the rest of these people. I think that's a fair statement. Rita is gone already. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more people being attacked. So 5d4. We'll roll this 5 times. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they'll get to roll a d4 in defense of themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they all roll terribly. Let's see, we got a 13 versus a 1. 11 versus a 2. I mean, they're all dead instantly, I think, is how that works. So we see all these other people that are swimming on the surface of the water, except for Cassidy, who's only earned the attention of one of these things. They all get pulled under. So I will just make them all disappear again. Here we go. Boom. Boom. We'll put Rita back. She never should have reemerged anyways. And then this thing is this lady now. Okay. All right. So a bunch of other people screaming in the darkness suddenly goes silent. And Darren. Darren, did you succeed on the perception check? I can't remember.
I did not.
All right. Oh, buddy. Let me roll a swim check here, see if one can get to you. Yeah, it does. Okay, it doesn't get to attack you this round. It'll buy you one more round, but something swims up underneath you. You don't know it's there yet. All right. Now, Naela, Zack, Dank, what are you guys doing first?
Do I notice how Zack responds after being given the shot?
Yeah, he probably seems to be moving a lot better now. Like, he was like you before, where he's like really hard for him to move, hard to catch his breath. As soon as she ejects him, he's like breathing better, stabilizes. He's able to like get up and move around freely and start fighting these things. But he's also hallucinating.
I look over at Nayla and I'm like, give me the juice, I can fight too.
Nice.
Don't make me regret it. She pulls it out and she injects you with it.
All right. Yeah.
That
So
timing was wonderful.
same feeling as that sort of stuff like makes its way into your system. You can catch your breath. You're able to like move around a bit easier, but you're starting to hallucinate, just like Zack. Next turn, you guys are going to get a roll to see if like it'll be a stress check basically against hallucinations.
Oh, shit, I have like no memories of the before. I had a really funny one-liner for this.
I mean, you can pull out a one-liner if you want. That's fine.
Feels just like the time I did peyote on that Area 51 raid.
Oh God!
Great times.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Steadies himself on the boat, brandishes his guitar like a weapon.
Yeah, totally. You want
Brandishes
to?
it like he's about to break it on stage.
Do you want to take a swing at something? You've got 3 of these things that are around the edges of the boat.
Oh man, I'm just gonna freaking clobber one of these guys.
Which one are you going for?
Well, logistically, the only one I'd be able to reach is Tony.
All right. Make an attack on Tony.
Alright, so I've got like +2 to physical activities and +1 to stringed instruments. Can I add the stringed instruments? I am using the stringed instrument.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I'll let it
I
apply.
want the Lewis to put it on the charger. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Alright, so that would be a +3. Oh wait, my body step, or the thing, is it still -2 or do I go up to 0?
You go up to 0.
Stable.
Stable, yeah.
Alright, so +3. Wow.
All right, that's a success, and the total is 6, 8, 12, 14, 16. And he is going to try to grab the guitar. And you swing at him, and of course he's not going to succeed. All right. So you kill him. You break his skull in. Like you cave his skull in, blood pours everywhere, and he sinks. Make a normal roll. Okay, so what you do notice when you kill this guy, you see something below the water line that's like wrapped around him, like wrapped around his body. And when you cave his skull in, it lets go of him, and his body just starts drifting away. But the thing that was wrapped around him dives deep to get away from you.
It's right, you weird sea bug, you better run.
He is dead. There goes Tony. That's how he met his end. All right.
Goodbye, Tony. You will not be missed.
Flourish the guitar to get all the giblets off and then strum on it.
Okay. Are you trying to like calm people down?
Sure.
Okay, so what I'll do is you're strumming on it. I'll give you guys a +1 to your stress check for the drugs when they kick in on the next turn. Okay. Zack, what are you doing on this turn?
I'll swing at a knife guy.
All right.
With
Take
the
a sw-
ore.
Take a swing. All you got to do is beat him. That
wrong one.
is 6. That's a 10. You beat him.
I think I rolled the wrong thing. Alright, no, same thing.
All right. So you kill this guy with the ore, and the same thing as with Tony. The creature lets go and dives into the water as his body just sort of like lays there floating. All right. Naela, you used your turn to give him an injector to Dank. So Cassidy and Darren, what are you guys doing?
Well, I don't know anything's wrong, so I'm swimming.
All right, make a roll. Roll a 4 this time.
You got it.
Oh, no. All right, Cassidy.
I'll use an influence.
Okay, use the influence to re-roll. Just roll a 4 this time. Come on.
You
Come on,
got
Darren.
this.
Okay.
Derrin.
I'll
better-
take a not fumble.
Okay. Cassie, what are you doing? You still trying to like sit there?
I'm just floating.
Okay. You see the creature that was wrapped around Tony starts to swim towards you under the water.
Oh, fuck.
Let me give it a swimming roll. That is definitely a success. It's gonna make it to like right here. Oh, you can't see. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's good. You don't need to see. It's under the water. Well, you rolled on perception, so I'm gonna let you see this guy. He is right here. Okay. Oh, buddy. All right, Darren. All you gotta do is survive this. Okay, bud?
You got it. I have faith in you.
Even the spleen of the dice.
Oh, man. All right, so first thing it's going to do is it's going to try to wrap around you. So I'm going to give it a 3d4.
Hey, get back. Close the door.
8.
Close the
As
door.
this creature comes from below you and tries to wrap itself around you.
Okay.
It would be a physical roll against it, so I think you only get
So,
one.
literally can't win.
Yeah, but you can not be killed.
Is this going to instantly kill me?
If you roll 2, yeah, you're at full health, right? So it has to triple your roll to kill you outright.
Seeking the bardic inspiration from hearing my guitar.
Sure, sure, I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll give you a +1 for that.
I was actually going to ask, is it possible to get negative memories from combat?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Cool, I'll take a negative memory. I'm only taking a -1, so it only gets 1 body step on me.
Okay. All right. Smart move. So you get memory points for that. You get 2 memory points. Is that how that works?
That's right.
All right. So I'm gonna mark that you're just down.
1 book. 1
Button.
1? Okay. Gosh. Keep hitting the wrong buttons. Okay. It's the numbers. All right. So yeah, you only go down 1 body step. Okay. As this thing like jumps up and wraps around you, something about like you kind of feel something coming. Something feels off. You're able to like kind of get out of the way as this thing scrapes up the side of you and it tries to grab onto you. Yeah, you're beaten.
I definitely, like, yell out, "Oh god, what the fuck? Get it away from me!"
Yeah. You see this thing come out of the water, and yeah, it looks like the creature on the right side of the depiction. So yeah, that's terrifying. The antenna at the end of it was like flailing at you, trying to like line up with your spine, but you managed to like just make it miss. Good luck, buddy. You don't want to be bitten by this thing. I promise you.
Oh, I bet.
Here, let me reveal it on the map, because now you know where it is. Okay. That brings us back around. Oh gosh. Let's see, the creature that was on Knife Guy. Well, why wouldn't he make a break for Darren? He's the only prey left, really. Cassidy's got one on her. So, let's see if he can make it over that direction. That's a success, even with 3 1s. He did get a 4, so he will make it over to, like, we'll say right here. I'll put him up to right there. Boom. Okay.
For clarification, can I was about to say, just making sure that -1 was for grappling. Would that work?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Now, okay. Naela, Dank, Zack, what are you guys doing? The drugs start to kick in. Zack and Dank, as you guys start to hallucinate. You look up at Naela, and I mean, her face is kind of wet, but it's also melting and like dripping off of her. Here's your stress test. See if you guys can keep it together. You guys both get a +1. Here's the DC. Oh, I rolled 3 1s. Look at that.
Oh, sick.
We win.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got like what, a 4d4? Like, there's no way you can lose, right?
Right.
I mean,
I mean,
Jamming on the guitar, enjoying the drugs.
yeah. He's used to it. This is just a typical day for him. All right. So, are you gonna keep playing the guitar, or like, are you gonna try to help hit something? What?
Would I actually hit one of these things from here?
You can move over. Yeah, like you can move on the boat. So you could like get up and move to like here, if you wanted to, and take a swing at this lady. Or you could like take a swing at this thing that's like going after Darren, if you wanted to.
I'm gonna go after the weird lobster thing.
Yeah, go for it.
It looks like good eating. I'm gonna get that in my stomach. I'm strumming on the guitar for a second. Wait, raise it back up, and just wham! Try to nail this lobster thing.
All right.
I'll give you another if you get it off me.
Don't fucking eat it!
So
It's a lobster.
3, 6, 9, 11, 15. You triple it. You kill.
Control the rate at which lobsters die.
Yeah, you kill it. You kill that thing instantly. That's the one you were swinging at, right? Was this guy right here?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like moving over towards Darren, and you grab the guitar and you bring it down on this thing, and yeah, you smush like a critical part of its makeup, and it just goes limp. A bunch of black fluid starts leaking out of it.
Oh,
Zack?
good. My not immediate problem is taken care of. Can we deal with the other one?
Maybe not good eating, he says as he watches it sink.
I just realized I had the oar, so I'm gonna start paddling towards Darren.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you!
All right, so that'll put you guys up by Darren here. Darren, you can grab onto the boat and pull yourself in, or at least try to.
I will, yes. Yes, please.
Naela, are you gonna help him get in?
Yes.
All right.
And I am also going to have my spear ready to stab any unwelcomers.
Okay. Yeah. So he starts to climb in. You reach out a hand, grab him, and like pull him into the boat. As he's coming out of the water, his like feet are still in. The creature in the water like makes one last effort to grab him as it flings itself up out of the water to grab him. I'll let you take a stab at it. We'll let you take a stab at it with the spear. You get your +3, but here's the contested roll. As it goes to try, it makes one last attempt to inject him with its neurotoxin. Yeah. And you beat it. So we see the collar come down. It's like about to land on his spine, and you know, because you've dealt with these things, you know that's a fatal blow. So like, you bring the spear up just in time to connect with the collar, and and it flails back, and a bunch of blood squirts out. Maybe there's even a couple sparks that emit from this thing. Yeah, and you've taken it down one body step as it sinks back into the water and gets ready to make another attack on you guys. This one over here.
Scream, fuck you, bastard!
This one over here is going to try to swim towards the boat. It does. This one over here is going to make a break towards Cassidy still. Cassidy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try to swim for the boat.
All right. You can try to. Okay. All right. It's a
I'll use
fail.
an influence point to. Can I do that to reroll another person character?
You can't roll another. You can't re-roll another player, but you can re-roll like when I try to attack her. You can re-roll, like force a re-roll.
All right.
I'd like to spend an influence point to reroll.
Go for it.
Oh no! Use another one. Use another one.
I guess I will.
All right. I hear
There we
it.
go.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. I can hear a muffled Naela just be like, "What the fuck was that? You, Caitlin?" I could have swore I heard Caitlin going, "What?" Okay, so you succeed. So I'm gonna put you over here, as the creature is. You can see this thing. Makes a beeline towards you.
I'm gonna look at it and be like, no! Like you would a dog or something.
I don't think talking works with these things.
I'll have it make a swim roll first because you changed course, and it fails. They're failing on the 64s quite a lot. Okay, so it doesn't get to attack you this turn. So you get up to the edge of the boat. That is the end of the turn. Next turn starts. This lady here is gonna try to start pulling people off. Let's see. We'll go for Darren first. I'm gonna give it a -1. I'll give it a -2 because there's more than one person on the boat. So -1 for because you're on a boat and it's trying to pull you off. Minus another one because you've got people on the boat that will help you if this thing grabs a hold of you. So basically making it more and more hard for this thing to pull you in. Now its normal attack has 5 dice, so I'm just gonna make it 3 dice. Darren, you've also not been injected yet. Just for the record.
Yeah.
Would someone else, would Naela, you can use your turn to inject him or to help Cassidy in. Same goes for everyone else on the boat. You can use your turn to make sure he gets injected. Like you can just grab the bag and inject him or attack these creatures. Like what are you guys all doing?
I will kill you if you touch my bag. I do the injecting.
I'm gonna hit the dang last.
All right, you're gonna hit this one here.
That's right.
All right, make it roll. I think yours was 64, if I recall.
That is right.
Is this
I'm
thing?
gonna try to get the boat close enough to Cassidy so she could get on.
It's close enough.
Okay.
She succeeded on her swim, so she got close enough.
Yeah, I think the light yellow is the entire size of the boat.
Yeah.
Ah.
Okay. Success. What's the total there? 4, 6, 8, 12, 15.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's no way this thing can win. But here's its roll. 15 versus a 10. So it goes down one step. It is now wounded. One more successful hit will kill this thing for sure.
Darren gets injected by Naela.
All right. Darren gets injected.
I'm gonna start beating the shit out of this other guy.
All right. Which other guy?
This one. The one that's trying to pull Darren in.
Okay. All right. Make an attack roll. Contested.
Sure.
12. And 5. You kill it.
Hey.
Oh, thank God, I'm too young to die.
All right. Now we just got Cassidy in the water with one of these things on her. Is everyone on the boat use their turn now?
I have not actually.
All right, your turn. What do you want to do?
Can I help Cassidy on?
Absolutely. Reach out a hand and help her on. Here, we'll put Cassidy. We'll make room here. We'll make room for everybody on our little boat here. Okay. Cassidy, you make yourself up onto the boat. You're dry, but it's really hard to move. It's hard to breathe. The world's crushing you. Like, gravity's so strong here. The creatures are going to keep trying to flip the boat. So I think, Cassidy, you still have a turn to do a thing, if you want to do a thing.
I don't have anything, so I'm just gonna, like, put it into the bottom of the boat.
Yeah, you just puke? Okay. All right.
No, just like that. Like,
Uh-oh,
drop
okay.
Splat.
down and just
Oh,
like,
okay,
I'm
okay.
done.
All right, yeah.
She has the pissed, wet cat look on her face. This is not her day.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so I'm gonna let these creatures. They're gonna try to flip the boat here.
Oh shit.
There's one on each side as they grab hold of the boat and start trying to rock it back and forth. Here's one roll. I mean, I really should just give him a, instead of rolling twice, I should just give him a +1. So, here. Okay, so it is a success with 1/4.
I'll use an influence point to make you reroll that 4.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah. Here's a reroll, and he rolls a 4.
And then I'll use an influence point to make you reroll that.
All right. Here's a reroll, and it's a 4. What the fuck?
Thanks.
Is this what dice abuse feels like?
Yeah.
It was rigged from the start.
So Nayla, you're burning an influence
One
point.
more influence.
Yep.
All right. Here's the reroll, and it's a 2.
And it's a-
Hey! Look at
Hey!
that. So
Hey.
he fails. All right. So they're trying to like rock the boat back and forth, and they can't. They can't. There's too many of you on it to flip it over. For now, what do you guys do?
I'm gonna finish off the one I hit before.
Okay. Yeah. This guy. Take a swing.
That's right.
And then I'll do the other one.
All right. Success. Here's your contested. They rolled a 4, Dank. So you rolled a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, it's enough to kill the thing for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy is dead, and then here, it won't let me put the X on him. There we go. And then Zack rolls an 11. Here's your contested roll for you, Zack. He rolls a 7, so he goes down 1. He's now beaten. Yeah. This thing's like trying to grab at you. You beat it back with the oar. Now the rest of you guys can just pile on this thing and kill it if you want now.
Cassidy gets injected first.
All right.
If you toss that to me, does that use your turn still, so I can inject?
No. I'll let you use your turn to inject her if you.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and convince you. Hey, you're the one with the weapon. I have no weapon. Let me help her, and you attack the thing.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. I'll allow
Makes
it.
sense, right?
If you're gonna.
Alright.
Do you go for it, Naela?
Yep, she hands him the thing.
All right.
Awesome. I inject.
Yeah. All right. So you get this strange-looking device in your hand. It has like a little button on the side of it. You push the button, and like a needle-looking thing pops out the bottom, and you slam it into Cassidy's shoulder, and you get the injection. Darren, here's your stress test for the hallucination.
Yeah, I knew I was gonna have to deal with that.
Son of a bitch, another
Is a
fucking
6?
shot.
Yeah. You get another one.
Another.
6.
All right. So just a normal roll there.
Yeah, unless you got anything that helps you in response to.
Unknown.
Yeah, I guess it would be unknown. Yeah,
Awesome. I have +2.
good deal.
There you go.
Hey.
Damn.
The strategy. Oh wait, I'm still on. Hold on, I need to go back up to 0.
Yeah. All you guys should be at
Thanks
stable
for
now.
that success.
2 success.
All right. Good stuff. So you're definitely fine. All right. And was Naela going to take a swing at this thing?
Yes.
Go for it. Uh, 12 versus 6. You double his roll. You kill it.
Hey.
It was already beaten, so it goes straight to dead. You kill this thing. As the spear punctures through, you get part of the collar that you just like sever it off, and the thing goes limp in the water. The rest of them, because there is like a whole school of them, they're feasting on other bodies. You know, like there's plenty of people that got pulled under and killed, and they got plenty of other stuff to eat. And you guys are way too much trouble to deal with, so they're gonna leave you alone. That will be the end of our combat. Sort of dealio here. And you're sort of free to like make a break back for the shoreline. Naela, you want to do that?
Yes.
I hand Nayla back the paddle.
All right.
I take the
Big
paddle.
All right.
Hey Dank, that thing you've got's roughly paddle shaped.
Yeah, if it'll help us go faster. Plus, I can get the guts off of it.
Oh
2 for
god.
1.
Yeah, totally. So you guys start paddling back to shore. We see on the shoreline an old man sort of like waving you guys in, waiting for you. And maybe that's how we end the session. We see you guys paddling towards the shore. We see the boat sort of make it to the edge of the shoreline as you all like finally reach the edge of the water. There probably would be like some reeds and some kind of like quote unquote vegetation stuff. As you guys make it to the safety of dry land over here. As you guys get off the boat, Naela like throws the rope to Ernest, who grabs it and starts tying it back to the bottom of the structure. You guys are looking up at this sort of like metal structure that's all beaten, and it's got mold growing on it, rust and stuff. And maybe that's where we fade to black and end the session. Unless there's anything else you guys would like to do before we end.
Doesn't seem like it.
All right. Well, congratulations. You all survived.
We did it.
Everyone take 2 memory points, 3 2 memory points, 3 influence points for the session. So y'all did something pretty good and pretty interesting and stuff. So I want to give you that extra influence point. And yeah, you've made it to Nibiru. Congratulations. Welcome to the real world. The real game has officially started. And we'll see what happens. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say now the book is open for everyone to look at. All pages, except for like the animal stats, like the monster stats. You guys can look at everything else if you want. And yeah, figure out how to pick up the pieces and move forward from here. We do know that you guys are in a place that's running out of resources, so you're going to have to pick up and move soon, most likely. We'll see what happens next time. Yeah.
Oh, giddy.
So, couple things. Quick reminder. This is the end of episode 2. On episode 4, we're going to give away our first of 3 copies of the game. So, just make sure you're here live for episode 4. Make sure you're able to enter that keyword broken in the chat on that day. And everyone who enters then will be able to potentially win a copy of the game. We'll give away a copy on episode 4. We'll give away a copy on episode 5. And we'll give away a copy on episode 6. And you can enter all the giveaways. You're only excluded from winning like the second or third one if you already won. So like you can enter all 3. And as long as you haven't won before, you can definitely win a copy. And then just be ready to give out like shipping info or email or what have you, so we can get the copy to you. And that's it. Thanks for playing, players. You guys did an awesome job today. Thanks for watching, folks in the chat. I see you guys chatting. Thank you very much. Looks like we got a couple new people in here tonight. That's always good to see. Yeah, I got nothing else for you guys. So I guess we'll wrap up. Anybody got anything else? Oh, check out the channels. So TeamZack on Twitch, twitch.tv/TeamZack. You can check him out. Of course, you can always catch us back here. Usually on Monday nights, we do Force of Flesh D&D 5e. This Friday and every other Friday, we have a little show called Unknown New Orleans. It's DM'd by a wise man once. And Nayla Sardonian plays a character named Haley on that show. And that's Unknown Armies campaign. It's like a modern day supernatural occult horror thriller kind of dealio. It's really fun. And you can check out stuff for like Mori's getting some artwork together for her character. You can check out that artist page. It should be linked in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Check out Ramblin TV. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Minds. I've even got a Patreon I barely use. I'm on Rumble. I'm on the things. Check me out. I do other things. And also, you guys want to hear something really cool? We're really getting close to getting monetized on YouTube. We're literally 8 watch hours away. We are at 39.92 out of 4,000 watch hours, and that is all we need for monetization. So, you may help the channel out. Watch some of our YouTube videos. Push us over the edge there. That's all I got. Am I missing any announcements or anything?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. Have a great night. We'll see you guys back here next week.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Goodbye.